I'm saying that your brother is no longer alive, but you already knew that. And don't you dare deny it if you know what's good for you. Fine, I'll admit it, Mom. You're right. Sean is no longer living. Who did Kimmy just walk off with? That's her boo thing. Lyric Gaither. And you think Kimmy is old enough to date? My baby's 15, Quinlan. She'll be fine. Plus, Lyric is the best thing to ever happen to her since she lost her best friend for good. After Keith took Ulysses' life, I started to wonder if I shared some responsibility. Maybe if I did report Keith, then he wouldn't have brought a weapon to school. Don't you dare blame yourself for what happened to Ulysses Torres. Keith is the one to blame, Yvette. And since he has proven that he can't be trusted, I can assure you that no one will ever doubt what you have to say about him if you ever decide to say anything. I just wanted to let you know that you ain't gotta worry about JJ finding out you got Yvette pregnant. JJ don't even want to know. Hearing that helps me to sleep easier. Thanks, CD. Don't mention it. I'll always have your back. You said it. You know that your brother is no longer alive. Was that so hard, Wade? I was trying to save you the pain of losing a child after you just lost your husband. Except you knew that I'd never see Sean again since you're the one who took your younger brother's life. Now are you gonna tell me what's been bothering you? I still don't want to talk about it, Mom. Guess this has got something to do with Quinlan telling you that Sean ain't gonna be found. Can you please just drop it? If you ain't gonna open up to me, then maybe you'll open up to Lyric. I finally done it, Zeke. I finally raised enough money from my TV program to buy us a new condo. That's great, Quinn. You don't seem too excited though, Zeke. Is something bothering you? Don't try to tell me that I don't have a right to be mad since you won't be involved in our son's life. Seems like a lot is on your mind, Michelle. Thinking about Keith Burke's sentencing? My only concern should have been about getting ready for prom. Now I've got to prepare to face the monster who took Ulysses from us. How did you do it, Wade? Did Sean see it coming? Were you lashing out at him and did you grab the closest thing you can find to end your brother's life? Hold on. I told you that Sean is no longer alive. I never told you that I'm the one responsible. Then who is? Because I like to know where my child is buried. You won't be able to find a body, Mom. Why not? Was he burned up? Just listen, please. I'll tell you everything, but you just need to hear me out. What's true is that I did see the text sent to his phone from the teen girl who requested to work at one of the parlors. He also ran off before I had the chance to confront him about it. Then how do you know that Sean is no longer living? He left a note, a goodbye letter to be specific. You see, Mom, he felt like the best choice was to end his life somewhere that we wouldn't be able to find him. And you expect me to believe something like that without proof? I kept the letter, Mom. I can go get it for you. You'd be a bigger fool if you think I'm leaving you alone. If you know where this supposed letter is, then I'll be coming with you. I'll be in the other room while you two talk. What you doing here, Lyric? Your mom called, told me you were upset. She wanted me to see what was wrong. Except you already know why I'm upset. And if my mom knew, then she certainly wouldn't have called. I was glad that your mom did reach out, though. It gives us a chance to talk things out, Kimmy. Talk about what? Talk about how the last time you saw me, your hand just happened to hit me across my face. Do you not like the idea of living in a new condo? I don't care where we move to, Gwen. And believe me, I'm happy to see how far you've come. If you're not upset about moving out of this apartment, then I assume that you're thinking about Keith Burke's sentencing coming up? Look, I'm only concerned about how Nichelle is handling it. You know, after all these months, you and I never really spoke about the day Keith took Ulysses' life. I know exactly how you feel, Nichelle. I truly wish that we were only looking forward to good times. Except moments like prom don't feel so sweet without your younger sister. Hopefully we can find some sort of relief after we face Keith when he gets sentenced. Do you want to see him get executed, Mom? I'm just eager to see that he has no chance at being a part of society ever again. If you two are talking about Keith, then I hope that psycho regrets the day he was born. It's all there in black and white, Mom. That's Sean's handwriting. His confession to taking Danny Clark's life. He can see how he didn't want to burden this family more than he already has and felt like the best option was to end his life and spare us from finding his body. This wasn't only written to you, Wade. This was also written to Lucas. It was written to me, his mother. I know, but I couldn't bear to watch you mourn a son. So you thought it was better to play with my mind and make me live in the unknown for the rest of my life? Like I said, you've already felt the pain of being a widow. I didn't want to see you go through the pain of losing a child. I'm really sorry, Mom. Believe me when I tell you that I was only doing what I thought was best for you. You don't get to make that call, Wade. Not when it comes to something like this. You should have told me the truth from the very beginning. How dare you even think that I would break, that I would become weak after finding out that your brother couldn't face what life was throwing at him. Like I said, I'm sorry. Now that you do know the truth, the whole truth, how would you like to proceed? Kimmy, I told you that I was sorry. Yeah. How it just happened and that nothing like that would ever happen again. Except I ain't stupid, Lyric. I can't be since I'm trying to become a nurse someday. And that's why I fell for you. Cause you're so smart and I know that I don't deserve you. Especially after what I did. So what makes you think that I just forget what happened and keep being your girl? I ain't asking you to forget, Kimmy. But I think we still got a chance since you ain't tell your mom what I did. You know I ain't trying to talk about that day. I get that you've had a handful of traumatic experiences in your life, Zeke. But all of them must have affected you in some way. Did I ever deny that it affected me, Gwen? Nichelle lost her younger sister that day. It hurt to see her mourning Alyssa. Knowing that she still misses Alyssa hurts. But that day I almost lost my younger brother. You could have lost your girlfriend and you could have lost your life too. But I ain't lose my life. And I'm glad Nichelle ain't lose her life either. So what's your point? You're about to graduate high school and enter into the workforce, Zeke. I want to make sure that the events from last year and before that don't negatively impact you once you step into the real world. I'd be surprised if Keith doesn't already regret being born since he knows what his fate could be. Keith just better hope and pray he doesn't get sent to the same prison father is in. Because if the system doesn't execute Keith, I know for sure that father will finish the job, which is why he's in prison in the first place. Ridding the world of Keith Burke would actually be the kindest thing Dad ever did for us. You two stop it. It pains me to hear you both speaking so dark, especially since Alyssa, your younger sister, was not a dark individual, and it pains me to think of how long we've gone on without her. The next step is to figure out how to tell the police that Sean is no longer alive without letting them find out that you kept his goodbye letter this entire time. Now, if you don't mind, I'll give myself some time alone to process and accept what I just discovered. Just broke the bad news to Mom, Sean. Of course, I couldn't tell her that I'm the reason why you're no longer with us and why your ashes are stuck inside of this statue right in front of me. When she began to get suspicious, I had to come up with a plan B. That's because my fear for that woman is stronger than my love for her. Only if you feared me, then our family wouldn't be in the state we're in. You're right. I ain't said nothing to my mom cause I ain't think you needed to get in trouble over one mistake. Exactly. Look, Kimmy, hitting you was a mistake. Please don't think I don't love you. Can you try to remember how much I tried to care for you since you had your heart broken over losing Danny? Please, just give me another chance. Fine, Lyric. I'll give you another chance. You're worried about how I'm gonna be like now that I'm older? How about you, Quinn? I know you ain't forget about Adaku Denjuma and the opinions going after you, putting my life in danger too. You might have moved out of the south side, but you definitely made sure danger followed you when you grew up. Alright, I see your point, and just so you know, I constantly regret that my issues with the Apinas put you in danger last Christmas, especially since it wasn't long after Keithberg almost took your life. Don't get me wrong, I don't want you to think that I'm bitter with you. I'm just gonna focus on getting through these witness statements and move on with the show. I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to upset you. I know, Nisha. And believe me, I get how angry you both are because I do feel that anger. We'll save all of our angry thoughts at court so that Keith can choke on them, because I'll do everything I can from strangling that boy the second I see him. Which is why it's so important we support one another, to make sure that we can keep our emotions under control. Together we can focus on making sure that Keith regrets the day he hurt his family the way that he did.
Previously on In Times Like These.
Yvette, why did it take you so long to tell me all of this? I wasn't sure if anyone would believe me. After Keith took Ulysses' life, I started to wonder if I shared some responsibility. Maybe if I did report Keith, then he wouldn't have brought a weapon to school. Don't you dare blame yourself for what happened to Ulysses Torres. Keith is the one to blame, Yvette. And since he has proven that he can't be trusted, I can assure you that no one will ever doubt what you have to say about him if you ever decide to say anything. But we made it through. We survived. Ulysses didn't, and that's something I'll never get over, Max. Neither will I. We'll save all of our angry thoughts at court so that Keith can choke on them, because I'll do everything I can from strangling that boy the second I see him. Which is why it's so important we support one another, to make sure that we can keep our emotions under control. Together we can focus on making sure that Keith regrets the day he hurt his family the way that he did. It's so hard to believe that this time has finally come, but I'm glad that Ulysses is getting justice today. You and me both, Nichelle. Isabel, glad I found you. Are you sure that you're prepared to testify against Keith, Yvette? I'm ready, Dad. You still never told me what made you change your mind. I'll tell you later. Can I just speak with JJ for a bit? Of course. Do you know why our daughter changed her mind, Wanda? Yvette, I didn't think you were gonna show up. For the longest time, I didn't think so either. That wasn't until I realized that I need to let the world know what kind of monster Keithberg truly is. Ubae, Vanessa, I'm ready to face Keith, Papa, but I'm ready to do something just as important. What are you trying to say? Not only am I ready to face him, but I'm ready to forgive him too. I bet you're loving the fact that my mom is letting you stand by her side as my family relives the lowest moment of our lives. Bacho, I will not stand for your attitude. Not today. Isidore is here to support this family. The least you can do is show some respect. Respect? Ma, he doesn't even respect you, and he certainly doesn't respect the rest of us. That's where you're wrong, Pacho. Your mother has and has always had my highest respect. Please, you only see my mother as something that you can possess. I really think you should wait for Yvette to tell you, Udell. Imagine if the roles were reversed. Would you still be saying the same thing? All I can say is that Keith hurt her more than we ever realized. You think I'd accept such a vague answer? Fine. The last thing I want to do is betray Yvette's trust. But I also don't want you to be blindsided. Blindsided about what, Wanda? Before Keith took Ulysses' life, he tried to force himself onto Yvette. What made you change your mind? I realized that Keith needs to understand that I'm no longer afraid of him. After today, I really hope that he realizes that all of his victims aren't afraid of him anymore. Just so you know, I'll have your back when you share how much pain he's caused you. What made you reach this decision, Vanessa? I'm about to finish high school in a month, Dad. If I'm gonna move forward in my life, then I need to leave this bitterness in my heart behind. And I truly realize that forgiving Kiev doesn't make what he did okay. And it will never be okay. Exactly, Papa. But I can't let my hatred towards him control me. It brings me so much joy to see that you've finally come to this point in your life. This only shows that you're ready to become a mature young lady. Hold up, Pacho. You can't just talk about our mother as if she's property. And I don't consider her to be property, Nichelle. But Isidore here seems to think of our mother as buried treasure. Your mother deserves to be treasured. Besides, we should just focus on coming together against one common foe. Can't we hash it out later? Isidore is right. Pacho, if you can't bring yourself to say anything nice, then it's just best that you walk away and calm down. Fine, but Isidore, I need you to keep your hands to yourself through the remainder of this day. Kiev tried to do what? To our daughter? Please calm down, Udell. How am I supposed to calm down when you just told me how that sicko not only attempted to take Yvette's life, but that he tried to attack her? When did this even happen? While you and I were away at Martha's Vineyard. So did Kiev break into our house or something? Yvette can go over those details with you, but just be grateful that he didn't get as far as he intended to go. And you just found this out? Yes. What made her stay quiet for so long? Since Yvette lied about Max, she was afraid that no one would believe her if she reported Kiev. But it was proven that Kiev was stalking Vanessa Dorval. No one would have doubted her then. That's not what our daughter believed. After Kiev tried to attack her, she felt like she deserved to be punished for lying about Max, which is what drove her to admit to Heidi that she lied. I really appreciate your support, JJ. I just wish it didn't take us coming to court for us to be at peace like this. So do I. Maybe today can be a day where we take advantage of starting a new beginning. Look, Yvette, I know that you don't want to be friends, but I hope we can at least make good acquaintances throughout high school. If you're still willing, I wouldn't mind being friends. And we can try to stay friends for as long as possible. Thank you for not giving up on me. I was really getting ready to give up on myself. You are a blessing to me and your parents, Vanessa. We will never let you struggle on your own. Your grandfather's right, Vanessa. This is the family that God placed you in. Don't ever doubt that we can help you get through your struggles. Hey, everyone. Hey, Max. It's good to see you. It's good to see you all, too. Make sure that you get your brother when you finish speaking with Max. We'll be waiting in the courtroom. How are you holding up, Vanessa? I finally found a form of peace that I never thought I'd ever get back again. I'll go and check on Pacho. Thank you so much for your support, Isidore. Even though I knew how much Pacho would give you a hard time. I love you, Isabel. I'd go through any catastrophe to ensure that you're alright. Now that you're here, I'm ready to get through this. Let's just hope that in the future, Harley and Pacho don't come together and try to give us a hard time. And Isabel will know the sort of man she fell in love with. I'll agree to keep my end of the deal as long as you keep yours. We might have not signed a legal document, but the deal didn't include that I walk on eggshells whenever I see you with Isabel. So the fact that Yvette found out that you kissed Owen wasn't her only driving factor in telling the truth. Our daughter was also traumatized as she felt an enormous amount of guilt. Is she gonna share what Kiev tried to do to her in her witness testimony? I'm not sure what Yvette plans to say, Udell. Let's just focus on supporting her and trust that she can handle this the way that she needs to. Being your friend wouldn't be an issue with me. Again, I'm really sorry for making you feel like the scum of the earth for so long. Honestly, I can't really blame you, JJ. Not since I have done plenty of things that would make me toxic. I didn't do myself any favors by reacting the wrong way, but let's try and focus on the future rather than the past. I'm relieved to hear that you won't allow Kiev to steal your joy. Now I can find peace in knowing that Kiev will see how much of a loser he really is. Are you okay, Shelly? I just want to make sure that our kids can stay strong once Kiev makes an appearance.
Previously, on In Times Like These.
It's so hard to believe that this time has finally come, but I'm glad that Yulissa is getting justice today. That wasn't until I realized that I need to let the world know what kind of monster Keith Burke truly is. The last thing I want to do is betray Yvette's trust, but I also don't want you to be blindsided. Blindsided about what, Wanda? Before Keith took Yulissa's life, he tried to force himself onto Yvette. Viv, you made it. I'm so sorry for being late, Pacho. How much did I miss? I think they're done going over all of the evidence. Now it looks like the judge will allow all of the victims to speak. Now that we've gone over all of the evidence surrounding this case, it's time to listen to the victim impact statements. Idiot Grant, who will you bring up to speak first? I'd like to bring up Nichelle Torres to deliver her impact statement, Your Honor. Yulissa Torres was my younger sister. Since I was 2 years older than her, the two of us grew up together. Growing up with Yulissa, I never even dreamed that she would ever be taken from me. Not so soon. Since I was older, I always thought that my life would end before hers did. Instead, Yulissa went before me. She was taken away in the most cruelest way when she was far from cruel. My sister wasn't perfect, but she was the kindest person I knew. Despite her kindness, she was never afraid to be brutally honest if she felt like you needed to hear her criticisms. But even in her final moments when she was bloody, gasping for breath in my arms, she was more concerned about my eternal soul and the eternal soul of our family than herself. That's the sort of person you took out of this world, Keith. That's the sort of person you took from my family. That's the sort of person you took from me. I really hope that the judge decides that your life is no longer worth living. Because if this decision spares your life, then I need you to live the rest of your life knowing this. I really wish that the officer who stopped you that day could have finished the job. I hope that somebody in the prison you're sent to finishes the job. Because sickos like you don't deserve to breathe. Every time I think of my sister's voice, her laughs, her smile, and her warm hugs, I always am reminded of the fact that you're still here on this earth, and for that, I will never forgive you. Before I was caught up here, I wasn't sure how I'd feel or how I'd react. The thought of other inmates pounding on you is the very thing that is keeping me from putting hands on you myself, Keith. It makes me furious, thinking that you not only took Yulissa's life, but that you also tried to take Nichelle's life as well. Honestly, if you took both of my sisters from me, then I don't believe that you'd be breathing right now. My family was already fractured when my father did what he did. Yet you brought a weapon to school and brought more pain to my family. Because of you, Nichelle will always be haunted with the image of you aiming your weapon at Yulissa. My mother will only see Yulissa through pictures and dreams. Yet I think I can speak for my family when I say that looking at you makes us sick to our stomach. Whatever issues you had, you should have gotten help for them. None of us should be here, but instead my family and everyone else who you hurt are here to ensure that you pay for your actions. And those actions were senseless, especially when my sister never did anything to you. Nothing that should have cost Yulissa her life. You see, Keith, you didn't just take Yulissa's life and traumatize Nichelle. No, you robbed me. When I came back to this town, I should have had more time to spend with Yulissa. I should have been able to make more memories with her along with the rest of my family. She should have gotten to know the woman that I love and the children we might have together. Instead, Yulissa is 6 feet under while waste for space like you gets to see another day. But I request that you face the worst punishment imaginable, and I hope it brings you 100 times more pain than you gave Yulissa. In fact, do the world a favor. Instead of going after my sisters and everyone in the school that day, you should have just taken your worthless life instead, you heartless freak. On September 9th of 2024, I said goodbye to my baby girl twice. That morning, I said goodbye expecting for Yulissa to come back home to me safe and sound. Instead, I heard that something had happened at the school which made me terrified for both of my girls. Pacho came along with me to make sure that they were okay. We made it to the school, waiting desperately to hear news about my other children. The good news was that Nichelle was alive. The unbelievable, unbearable news was that Yulissa was gone. That evening, I said goodbye to my beautiful baby, knowing that she would never come back home to me ever again. Keeve, I want to know what you were trying to accomplish that day. And don't look at me as if I'm stupid, because I know that she wanted to cause damage. I know that she wanted to take lives. But what good did you expect to come out of it in your life? Attention? Fame? What did you gain by taking my baby from me? You got to turn 16 this year, but robbed Yulissa of that. If you get sentenced to life, you might never get to experience freedom, but you'll still get to have birthdays. Well, I remember my baby's birthday by placing flowers on her grave. You and Yulissa went to school together, yet I can't even see a child in front of me. I see a monster, a cold and heartless monster who shattered my entire world. Unlike my children, I won't wish for your demise, even though you deserve it, but I trust that you'll face the right punishment. Hopefully that punishment makes you regret the day you were ever born, because I certainly wish that your mother never gave birth to you, since your existence cost Yulissa her life. Don't ever consider yourself to be a legend, Keeve. What you did was not legendary whatsoever. What you did was criminal. What you did was cruel, and it tore many lives apart. But as the survivors piece their lives together, you will be rotting in prison, realizing that you put yourself there when you felt like the world owed you something. Now we'll hear an impact statement from Yvette Mitchell. You'll be just fine, baby. Just take your time to share what's on your heart. I'll start off by saying this. When Keeve tried, when I almost... What he did, it...
Previously on In Times Like These.
I really wish that the officer who stopped you that day could have finished the job. I hope that somebody in the prison you're sent to finishes the job, because sickos like you don't deserve to breathe. Every time I think of my sister's voice, her laughs, her smile, and her warm hugs, I always am reminded of the fact that you're still here on this earth, and for that, I will never forgive you. Instead, Yulissa is 6 feet under while Waste for Space like you gets to see another day. But I request that you face the worst punishment imaginable, and I hope it brings you 100 times more pain than you gave Yulissa. In fact, do the world a favor. Instead of going after my sisters and everyone in the school that day, you should have just taken your worthless life instead, you heartless freak. What did you gain by taking my baby from me? You got to turn 16 this year, but robbed Yulissa of that. If you get sentenced to life, you might never get to experience freedom, but you'll still get to have birthdays. Well, I remember my baby's birthday by placing flowers on her grave. You and Yulissa went to school together, yet I can't even see a child in front of me. I see a monster. Maybe this was too much for her, Udell. Should one of us stand beside her? Just give Yvette some time, Wanda. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as she speaks, that's all that matters. There is a special place in hell for you, Keith Burke. And I hate that I'm making myself sick to my stomach looking at you right now. How do you live with yourself, Keith? Really, how do you live with yourself knowing that you've damaged innocent people for the rest of their lives? Sure, you didn't take my life, but you definitely tried. The image of you pointing your weapon at my face lives in my head rent-free. Yulissa might not have been my friend, Keith, but taking her life hurt people who I care about. And that's what drives me crazy. Yulissa was loved by so many people, yet no one cares about you and you're still alive. It's just not fair. When I was younger, I always thought monsters hid under kids' beds and hid in their closets. I used to have a big fear of the dark when I was little. My parents would come in, assure me that monsters don't exist and that they would always protect me. Except, and I hate to say it, but my parents were wrong. Monsters do exist. And I'm looking at one right now. A monster who didn't hide under my bed, but who I went to school with. A monster who brought a weapon where I was supposed to feel safe. And the moment that you pointed that weapon at my face, I never wanted my parents so badly at that moment. I wanted my mom, my dad to come and save me so that they could scare the monster away. But that wasn't the first time I wanted my parents to swoop in and save me. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, Keith. That night when I threw my house party, inviting you to my house was the dumbest mistake I have ever made in my life because you tried to force yourself onto me. Order, order! And I kept quiet, not to protect you, but to protect my own sanity. I mean, who was gonna believe me? The school slut? The girl who lied about another boy forcing himself onto me? Then I found out that you were stalking Vanessa. Vanessa, I am so sorry. I should have spoken up, and maybe you would have found out that Keith was your stalker earlier on. Mrs. Torres, if I had spoken up, then maybe Yulissa would still... But no, I can't take the blame. Keith, I won't let you make me share the blame for everything you've done. Yes, I've done some foul things in my life, but I'm not a monster like you. Now, everyone in this town knows what sort of sicko you really are, and monsters like you don't deserve to live. Keith, what you did ain't something that's new to my life. Growing up in the South Side, I lost friends to violence. Getting involved in what I got involved in, I put myself in danger. But I was trying to get my life together so that I could make the people around me proud. I don't feel as traumatized like everyone else in this courtroom, but everyone in this courtroom ain't grow up like I did. This side of Valley Park was supposed to be safe. Growing up in the South Side, it was like this side of Valley Park was supposed to be the promised land. You had everything going for you. A father who was the head of police and a mom who was the head of the hospital. My mom's in prison right now. I don't even know where my dad is, and I ain't seen him since I was a kid. But you couldn't even be grateful. Let me tell you something. There are people who got it way worse than you do, but you felt like your life sucked. So what did you do instead? You took my girlfriend's sister away from her. Yulissa ain't like me when she was alive, but she loved Nichelle and always tried to look out for her. You took the life of someone who meant the world to the same girl who means the world to me, and I still love Nichelle. But what you did changed her. I want to make sure to give her the world, but I'm so afraid that if I ever hurt her, then she'd break. On top of that, you tried to take my life too. But I get why you thought bringing a weapon to school would take me down. Because you knew good and well that I could beat you down myself. Sucks for you because you couldn't break me like you wanted to. So whether they fry you, inject you, or put you in prison for the rest of your life, I hope it breaks you when you hear what your sentence will be. Look at you, Keith. Guess you don't feel so powerful without your weapon, huh? I really wish I would have seen the look on your face when you found out that I survived after you tried to take my life. But at least I get to see the look on your face when I tell you that Vanessa and I are still together, stronger than ever, in fact. Of course, we all know that the school tragedy wasn't the only attempt you made on my life. Like how last summer you threatened me with a knife. At that moment, I didn't know it was you behind that creepy mask, but it just goes to show what you really are, a coward. You need a weapon to make yourself feel powerful. Now I'm pro Second Amendment, but I believe that right should be used to protect others. As for you, you're selfish. Why your father couldn't see that he needed to keep a secure lock on his weapon with you in the house is beyond me. After you did what you did, taking Ulysses' life, I felt so responsible. When I heard that you snuck into the school, it's like I forgot that you carried a knife before. My main focus was to protect Vanessa instead of calling an adult. I put Vanessa in danger. Ulysses ended up losing her life. But like Yvette told you, Keith, I'm not gonna share the blame with you when your actions alone led to this day. You deserve to be executed, but I wouldn't mind seeing you rot in prison for the rest of your miserable life. Your soul deserves eternal punishment, so may God have mercy on your sick, sinful soul. Hello, old friend. Remember when we actually got along? Did you forget when I met you almost 2 whole years ago because I thought you were a loner who needed a friend? Why did you take my kindness for weakness, Keith? How could you be so sick as to take advantage of me just so you could stalk my sister by placing a camera in her room through a teddy bear? And the sad thing is that Ulysses tried to warn me about you. She had this sick feeling about you for years, but I didn't listen. Vanessa didn't listen. Now Ulysses is gone because of you. But as to hear that you tried to force yourself on Yvette prior to taking Ulysses' life and being caught as Vanessa's stalker, what made you think you would get away with that sort of stuff? When we were friends, I tried to tell you that there's a God who loved you enough to send his son Jesus to give his life so that you could have a proper relationship with him as long as you repented and surrendered your life to him alone. I also tried to tell you that I not only serve a forgiving God, but that I also serve a God of wrath and justice. And I know for sure that he is not happy with the choices you've made. After you pushed me off the stairs of the Russo estate, I had to walk on a cane for months. All because I was trying to stop you from causing absolute chaos at the school. Instead, the next thing I remember is waking up from a coma, being told that I not only failed to stop you, but that you took the life of a girl I really cared about, who I never got the chance to say goodbye to, all because you had to accomplish your so-called master plan. You better get right with God while you still got the chance, Keith, because the place you're headed is 100,000 times worse than the misery you feel like you lived here on Earth. Even with all these people in this room, looking at you still brings me chills. All I can think about is the moment I realized that you were stalking me. I think of how you pulled that weapon out and took my best friend's life. How you almost took the life of the guy who I love. And how could you claim that you love me, Keith, when all that you've done is hurt me over and over again? How could you claim to love me but try and take my life? If you said that you love bringing me pain, I would have believed you in the snap of a finger. Before this day, I would have agreed with what everyone was saying about seeing you get executed. Ever since you executed Ulysses, I wanted you to suffer the same fate, but in a more painful way. Instead, I realized that I couldn't go on thinking like that, Keith. I couldn't go on hating you. Don't get me wrong, I'm still very much disgusted by you. I still hate that you took my best friend's life. I'll never forget how you almost took Max and JJ away from me. You've already hurt me so much in my short life, and I'm not gonna let you control me forever. That hatred I felt for you won't have a hold on me, Keith. After today, I wash my hands of you. You are a part of my past, and you will stay there. I need you to understand that you've lost. No one will come and visit you in prison. You'll only be a distant memory to everyone you've come in contact with in the outside world. Nothing more than a sick weirdo who screwed up his entire future. A waste. Keith Burke, you have pled guilty for the following charges: stalking, trespassing, bringing a weapon to school. Since we have no legal record of the passing of your father, Finnegan Burke, you have only been charged for taking the life of Ulysses Torres while attempting to take the lives of others. For the following charges you have pled guilty for, I sentence you to 70 years to life in prison with no chance of parole. Do you have anything to say before you are sent to the facility? You all say that I'm to blame for everything that went down. But how about all of you hypocrites? Look at yourselves before you start pointing fingers. Starting with you, D.A. Russo. You were a married woman who screwed my father while he was married to my mother. And your self-righteous son took the girl I love away from me. And I did love you, Vanessa. I still love you. After everything I've done, it angers me to see that you're so blinded by your attraction to Max that you couldn't see that you would have had a better life with me. As for you, JJ, you're weak. Nothing you would have done would have stopped what was destined to be. Elissa lost her life because she was weak. And don't look at me like I'm insane. Didn't she have an eating disorder? A BB bullet could have taken her out. But you're right, taking her life was a mistake. The person I really wish I would have taken out was Yvette. All you had to do was give me one favor, just one. And who knows, maybe if you gave me what I wanted that night, none of this would have ever happened. You all need to blame that slut and the douchebag who interfered that night. Are you listening to me, Nichelle? Did your precious boyfriend Zeke tell you that he barged into Yvette's room that night, pulled me off of her? Let me set the record straight. I didn't force myself onto her. She wanted it. And I bet not long after that night she got knocked up by Zeke Franklin since he felt like such a hero. You shut up, you evil freak! The very memory of having your body on top of me, suffocating me, makes me feel like I can't breathe, even right now. The judge should have ordered you to be hung because you need to be put down like a sick dog. Order. Order in this court. Udell, I need to check on her. Just give her a moment, Wanda. Just a moment to gather herself together. Yvette, leave me alone, JJ. We're friends, remember? As your friend, I want you to know no one took what Keith said seriously. It's clear that he has definitely lost his mind, especially when he assumed that Zeke Franklin got you pregnant. No one is gonna believe him. How do you know that? Because it's not true? It's not true, right? I wish he wasn't right, JJ. I really wish Keith wasn't right about Zeke. I hate how that's the only truthful thing he said in that courtroom. But he was right, JJ. Zeke got me pregnant.
Previously on In Times Like These.
And I bet not long after that night she got knocked up by Zeke Franklin since he felt like such a hero. You shut up, you evil freak! The very memory of having your body on top of me, suffocating me, makes me feel like I can't breathe, even right now. The judge should have ordered you to be hung because you need to be put down like a sick dog. No one took what Keith said seriously. It's clear that he has definitely lost his mind, especially when he assumed that Zeke Franklin got you pregnant. No one is gonna believe him. How do you know that? Because it's not true? It's not true, right? I wish he wasn't right, JJ. I really wish Keith wasn't right about Zeke. I hate how that's the only truthful thing he said in that courtroom. But he was right, JJ. Zeke got me pregnant. Let's just hope that in the future, Harley and Pacho don't come together and try to give us a hard time. And Isabel will know the sort of man she fell in love with. I'll agree to keep my end of the deal as long as you keep yours. We might have not signed a legal document, but the deal didn't include that I walk on eggshells whenever I see you with Isabel. Was Keith telling the truth, Zeke? I'm sorry, Nichelle. Look, that night when I saw him trying to attack Yvette, I tried to tell her to press charges on him. She didn't want me to tell nobody. I'm not doubting that Keith tried forcing himself onto her. If I were Yvette, then I'd do whatever I could to try and forget how that sicko tried to put his hands where it didn't belong. Yvette never admitted who got her pregnant though. What I'm trying to ask you is if the baby she's carrying is yours. Zeke? Zeke Franklin is the father of your baby? Surprise. The school slut sure knows how to screw up her own life. Does Zeke even know? Yeah, JJ. He knows. And he's just cool with abandoning his own kid? Zeke, staying away will be better for everyone. I saw you sitting by Isabel's side throughout the entire time, Dad. What did Pacho and Nichelle have to say about it? Do you honestly even care, Alan? What I care about should be the least of your worries. You should care about what would happen if Pacho and Nichelle were to discover that you could have prevented Keith's very existence. Wanda. Owen, now is not the time. I am trying to find Yvette. Then let me help you. I'm very familiar with the courthouse, so we should be able to find her in no time. As if I'd allow my traumatized daughter to see me side by side with the man who tried to destroy her family. Why would you even be convinced by anything that weirdo has to say in the show? Probably because this is the first time I heard about Keith trying to force himself onto Yvette and that you were right there. I thought you understood why. She ain't want nobody to know. And I do understand, Zeke. But you still kept something this huge a secret from me for months. If you could do that, then you could easily keep it a secret that you got another girl pregnant. Don't forget how I caught you and Yvette talking at Shirley's diner the other day. Now I want an honest answer. Were you two talking about her baby? Why would it be better for everyone if Zeke isn't in his son's life? Zeke is in a committed relationship with Nichelle. If Zeke were so committed, then you wouldn't be pregnant at all, Yvette. The nerve of that guy. Here he is, standing by Nichelle's side, yet Yulissa would have grilled him for cheating on her sister again. Now that you know the truth, does that mean you no longer want to be my friend JJ? I plan to keep what Terry did to myself, Alan, especially since Isabel and her living children have finally found closure. There's no need to create any new wounds. But you plan to live a life with Isabel, Dad. Do you actually think you're gonna be able to keep this from her forever? Look at how she ended her marriage with Devante after we discovered he was the one who took Zia Elvira's life. Terry made herself disappear. Your grandfather won't be pressing any charges. Neither Isabel nor her children will ever find out that your former mid-aged lover is the reason why your great-grandparents met their early demise. You had an affair with Terry, Allen? And Essador. She ended your grandparents' lives? I can see how upset you are, Wanda. Did you know that Did you know what he attempted to do to Yvette? I found out right before she made her impact statement. Now stop wasting my time when I could be using this time to find my child. Just try and take a breath. I'm sure she's fine. Fine? Did you not see how she lashed out at Keith before she rushed out of the courtroom? My pregnant 16-year-old daughter is hurting somewhere in this building and I can't find her. How am I supposed to calm down? How come Udell doesn't seem to care to locate Yvette like you do? Nichelle, don't let Keith get into your head. Your mind is coming up with way too many scenarios right now. You've cheated on me before, Zeke, and I'll regret that for the rest of my life. But don't forget how you forgave me. Ever since you gave me another chance, I ain't trying to lose you again. But if Keith wasn't telling the truth, then why did Yvette run off instead of denying it? Today brought back a lot of emotions. On top of that, she's pregnant and got all them hormones to deal with. I mean, do I need to take a DNA test to prove that I ain't touched Yvette since I got with you? Because that's what I'll do if it makes you feel better, Nichelle. From the looks of it, you regret sleeping with Zeke. Besides, I'm not gonna abandon you, Yvette. Not when I see how much you're struggling. Does Dee Dee know? I ended up telling her. Not because I wanted to, though. Was she not at court today? She wanted to support us, but knowing the details of Ulysses' passing, Dee Dee felt like it was best to protect her peace since she's still mourning her mom. But since Dee Dee found out Zeke got you pregnant, is that why you two are no longer friends? She's the reason why Zeke found out. He's the one who got me pregnant. Your cousin told him when I specifically told her not to. Please tell me that you don't agree with what she did, JJ. Please tell me that you won't tell anyone about this conversation. First of all, Alan, you're nasty. On top of that, I thought Lorenzo's parents both passed away of a heart attack. Maybe you two should turn around. This is a private family conversation. Listen, nephew, if there's something I need to know about my late grandparents, then I deserve to know. How is Terry responsible for their passing? Most of all, why ain't she in prison? You never knew my grandparents, Vivian, so don't even try to act like they're advocates. But you were eager to make sure that my mother wouldn't find out about this. Why is that so important to you, Isidore? Because after what went down today, Pacho, she doesn't need to know. Correction. You don't want her to know. Since Terry is the same woman who gave birth to the punk who took my sister's life, then my mother needs to know. Wait, your grandparents passed away before Terry and Finnegan were even married, before Keeve was even born. Did you know all along? Don't you dare try to make it sound like Udell doesn't care about Yvette. I was asking you an honest question. If you must know, Udell wanted me to give Yvette time to herself. As for me, I couldn't bring myself to do that. So you don't trust his judgment. Stop trying to paint my husband to be lower than you, Owen, because nothing you do will ever make you compared to the man I love. Udell certainly doesn't satisfy your every need, since you and I have made love multiple times. You two did what? I'm so sorry, Zeke. I know how ridiculous I sound. Don't sweat it, Nichelle. I know today was a tough day for you. Does this mean we ain't gonna have this conversation again? I'm sorry I even brought it up. I'm really sorry. Are you really asking me not to ever mention to Zeke that he needs to step up and help you raise the son you two share together? I don't want you to mention this to anyone, JJ. Can you promise me that? I promise. Of course, I didn't know all of this time. Enlighten me then, Isidore. How and when did you find out that Terry ended your grandparents' life? Like Vivian questioned, why isn't Terry in prison? They were my grandparents, Pacho. I will deal with it how I see fit. There's no way Lorenzo would have just let Terry get away with taking the life of the all-powerful Dante Russo and his wife Martina. How did you make her pay? Most of all, do you think my mother would still stay with you when you could have prevented Keith Burke from ever being born? I'd like to know your answer, Isidore. What are you doing here, Shelley? How much did you hear? I was trying to find out where JJ is, and I heard more than enough from you two, sleeping with each other behind Udell's back. Go on and find your son. This is none of your business. Owen, let me speak with Shelley alone. Shelley, please, pretend like you never even heard what you heard. Just walk away and find JJ. He's probably with Yvette right now. Do you really expect me to keep such a heavy secret to myself? One thing I will agree with Owen on is that this doesn't concern you at all. No, but this does concern the husband you've been unfaithful with, Wanda. How can I keep something like this from my own husband? How do you expect me to pretend like I don't know what you've done whenever I see Udell or Yvette? This is... Shelley? Shelley, are you alright? It's my water. My water broke.
Previously, on In Times Like These.
Do you think my mother would still stay with you when you could have prevented Keith Burke from ever being born? I'd like to know your answer, Isidore. That's Sean's handwriting, his confession to taking Danny Clark's life. You can see how he didn't want to burden this family more than he already has and felt like the best option was to end his life and spare us from finding his body. Of course, I couldn't tell her that I'm the reason why you're no longer with us and why your ashes are stuck inside of this statue right in front of me. When she began to get suspicious, I had to come up with a plan B. That's because my fear for that woman is stronger than my love for her. Only if you feared me, then our family wouldn't be in the state we're in. Udell certainly doesn't satisfy your every need, since you and I have made love multiple times. You two did what? One thing I will agree with Owen on is that this doesn't concern you at all. No, but this does concern the husband you've been unfaithful with, Wanda. How can I keep something like this from my own husband? How do you expect me to pretend like I don't know what you've done whenever I see Udell or Yvette? This is... Shelley? Shelley, are you alright? It's my water. My water broke. What can I do for you two today? My mother and I are here to update you on Sean's whereabouts. Did you hear from him? In a way, what's that supposed to mean, Wade? Sean left us a goodbye letter, Commissioner, telling us that he was ending his own life. So it looks like Keith will be in prison for the rest of his miserable life. I'm glad that you're not here to see what came of your only child, Finnegan. At least you got some sort of justice, but I still miss you each and every day. Don't worry, Shelly. You're gonna be just fine. I need Jeremiah. He needs to get here right now. Isabel, what exactly did you hear? Don't worry about that, Isidore. You were saying that Terry is responsible for taking the life of your grandparents. Now I need you to start from the beginning, and don't you dare leave anything out. Where exactly did you two find this letter? It was hiding in plain sight in Sean's room. As he read, it was meant for us to find. And you two just happened to have found it after he's been missing for all of these months? All of these months, Wade and I haven't suspected that Sean took his own life. And since Sean went missing, I didn't expect him to leave anything in his room that would lead me to his location. This letter alone doesn't even pinpoint where we could find my brother's body. Because of that, the police department won't stop looking for your younger brother until we find him. I get that I'm in possession of your ashes, Finnegan, but it still doesn't compare to being in your presence. I miss being in your arms. I miss the sound of your voice. Believe it or not, I even miss how smug and sure of yourself you could be. How is someone like you, someone so confident and strong, just be crumbled into dust? Only if you had gotten Keith the help he needed before it was too late. It's gonna be okay, Shelly. Jeremiah will be here sooner than you know it. Just scream out, okay? Just scream out as loud as you can, and I know that he'll come for you. In the meantime, I'll call an ambulance. I can't believe it. How? How am I gonna give birth to my son here? Shelly? What's going on? What's wrong? My water broke, Jeremiah. The baby is coming right now. I already called for an ambulance. Do you think you can wait until they get here, Mom? No, Vanessa. Your brother wants to come into this world and he's eager to make his arrival right now. Fine. I'll tell you everything, Isabel. But not here. You think I'm just gonna let you take my mother out of here so that you have a chance to spew out lies? I won't be lying to her, Bacho. There's no better time to share the truth like the present, Isidore, because I'm not going anywhere, and I won't allow you to go anywhere until you tell me the full, truthful story. Believe me when I say this is your best option, since I don't know what I will do to you if you explain this to me one-on-one. Alright, my grandfather Dante discovered that he had Alzheimer's over 20 years ago. Instead of going through with the disease, he asked Terry to end his life on his own terms. But what's that got to do with Dante's wife, Martina? If you paid attention to your own family history, Vivian, then you'd know that my grandmother was so heartbroken that her life ended. Since Terry helped end Dante's life without anyone in the family knowing about his illness and plan, I overheard Terry apologize out loud at my grandmother's funeral when she thought she was alone. And the moment you found out, you didn't even call the police. I considered it, Isabel. So why didn't you do it? Because I felt like the best punishment for Terry was to blackmail and control her for years. Do you not realize what you've done, Isidore? Believe me, Commissioner, I am eager for this department to locate Sean. That way I can give my son a proper burial. Just because Sean left a goodbye letter doesn't mean that he harmed himself, Mrs. Abina. My brother's not some criminal mastermind. How else would you explain him remaining undetected for all of these months? The only way that he'd do that is if he had any help Guess I'll have to figure out who helped your younger brother to disappear. Let me make it clear to you, Finnegan. I'm not trying to blame you for the crimes that your son committed. I understand that you tried to do your best by him and that you had no idea how troubled he was. In fact, I should share the blame too. Once we figured out that he was stalking Vanessa Dorval, I should have immediately urged you to place him into some sort of mental facility. Instead, I was so focused on making sure that the law wouldn't take your only child away from you. But you ended up losing your son the moment he pulled the trigger on you, ending the life of the only person who ever cared about him. At least your spirit of being blamed for how Keith turned out. But I still wish you were here because I would have never left your side. Are you sure that you can't wait, Shelly? Jeremiah, I have birthed 2 of our children. Our son is coming right now. Mrs. Mitchell, you've given birth before. Can you try to help my mother? I only gave birth once, and it was in a hospital. Most of all, that was years ago. You're here now. Wanda, you and Shelly are the only ones who know what it's like to give birth, and I doubt that's something you can forget. All right, fine. I'll do my best. Because you didn't do the right thing, Isidore, Terry went on to still live her life despite being under your thumb. She got to marry Finnegan, gave birth to that spawn. The spawn who took my baby from me. I know, Isabel, I know. Of course you know. What I'm asking you is if you understand. For as long as I've known you, power was something you were obsessed with. Your obsession with power and controlling other people led to my baby's demise. Please believe me when I tell you this, Isabel. If I had known how my choice would have turned out, I would have done things differently. I don't care. Because all the power in the world won't gift you with the ability to go back in time and change reality. You can't turn back the clock and give Ulissa back to me, Isidore. Alan don't seem too surprised, which means that the rest of the Russos must know about what Dr. Murphy did. Just stay out of this, Vivian. Watch your mouth when you speak to her in my presence, Alan. Enlighten me, Isidore. How did the rest of the Russos find out about what you've done? It was unintentional and recent. When my father discovered that Terry was responsible for his parents meeting an early demise, he gave Terry a choice. Either go to prison or never come back to Valley Park ever again. Falling in love with you was the biggest mistake of my life. All you've done is bring me pain, Isidore. You are just pure poison. Isabel, please. I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. I love you so much. My love for you is real. It doesn't seem like you're taking our concerns seriously, Commissioner. That's where you're wrong, Wade. I'm taking what's been said very seriously. I'll take the note to the forensic team to determine whether Sean truly wrote it. Once I get those results, we'll decide where to go from here. All right, Shelly, let's get ready to do this. I've got 911 on the line and I'm prepared for whatever comes next. Do you feel the need to push? It's all I feel right now. Then I need you to push with all of your might, Mama. Push. Good. Mom, what's going on? It looks like she's getting ready to give birth to your new brother. Wow, this kid definitely doesn't understand the concept of right place and time. JJ, just get over here. Mom could use the support of all of her family. You're getting so close, Shelly. I need you to push with all of your strength. Congratulations, Shelly. He's definitely got strong lungs, but he has very beautiful eyes. Let me introduce you to your son, Benny Sueletene. Missy Senya, you did well, Shelly. Really well. I'm just thankful that our boy is in my arms. So thankful. The love you claim you have for me doesn't exist, Isidore. I don't think it ever did. Don't say that. Don't tell me what I should say. Don't even tell me how I should feel. Love isn't a concept that you can comprehend because in your nature, you're driven by power and control, which is why I left you to begin with, and I don't ever understand why I continued to be drawn to you. Because you and I care about one another. We always have. We always will. We keep coming back to each other. We can get through this. How? How do you expect me to allow your trifling hands to touch me when your actions all of those years ago is the reason why my daughter is no longer here with me right now? That's the last thing I wanted, Isabel. Hurting you is not something that I take pleasure in, but you end up hurting me, and your feelings are the least of my worries at this moment. You could have done the right thing. You knew exactly what the right thing was. What Terry did was illegal. She should be behind bars. Instead, she's off in the sunlight, probably with a new name, and her son is being held exactly where she should be. You're toxic, and I will not allow you to destroy me and what is left of my family. I warned you, Isidore, and now you'll have to deal with whatever comes next. It's not fair, Finnegan. I really wish that you could come back to me. I'm here without you while scum like Isidore gets to have his happily ever after with Isabel Torres. It's just not fair. Get ready, Valley Park. I'm coming home.
Previously on In Times Like These.
As if I'd allow my traumatized daughter to see me side by side with a man who tried to destroy her family. You've cheated on me before, Zeke, and I'll regret that for the rest of my life. But don't forget how you forgave me. Ever since you gave me another chance, I ain't trying to lose you again. But if Keeve wasn't telling the truth, then why did Yvette run off instead of denying it? Today brought back a lot of emotions. On top of that, she's pregnant and got all them hormones to deal with. I mean, do I need to take a DNA test to prove that I ain't touched Yvette since I got with you? Because that's what I'll do if it makes you feel better in the show. Sean left us a goodbye letter, Commissioner, telling us that he was ending his own life. For as long as I've known you, power was something you were obsessed with. Your obsession with power and controlling other people led to my baby's demise. Isabel, please. I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. I love you so much. My love for you is real. You have such a beautiful son, Shelley. I can remember being in awe when I held Vivian in my arms for the first time. The same with Vanessa. Even though I already had 2 babies, it's such a wonderful feeling holding this new life in my arms. And I love the name you gave him, My Little Thomas. I heard that you got a new cousin, Dee Dee. Congrats. Thanks, Zeke. He's a very cute baby and he sure knows how to make an entrance. Speaking of my new cousin's birth, Vanessa and JJ filled me in on what went down in court. What's going on, Commissioner? The Opinas met with me the other day. About Sean? That's right. According to Faboon and Wade, Sean is no longer alive. But that's only because Sean supposedly took his own life. Because you didn't do the right thing, Isidore. Terry went on to still live her life despite being under your thumb. She got to marry Finnegan, gave birth to that spawn. The spawn who took my baby from me. Hello, Isidore. What are you doing here, Harley? Alan told me that Isabel finally uncovered the dirty truth about Terry and your late grandparents. Guess we're even now. Hey, Shelly. Hey, Shirley. How's the baby doing? He's doing just fine, Wanda. Thank you for checking in. I heard that you're quite the hero, Wanda. Nothing heroic, just one mother helping out another. Praise God you were there when Shelly needed you most. I'll see y'all later. Did you actually come here to make sure that my son was alright, or did you want to make sure that I hadn't told anyone that you've been sleeping with Owen Grant? Court got heated, but we made it through though. I'm surprised you ain't show up. I really wanted to, Zeke, but I realized that I wasn't prepared to hear all the details of what Keith Burke did while I'm still mourning my mom. I get it. It really broke my heart to hear what Keith tried to do to Yvette last summer. Luckily, you were there on time. But I also heard that Keith went on some rant and mentioned how you got Yvette pregnant. I really wish that he kept his mouth shut. Cause he went off, it caused Nichelle to ask me about Yvette's pregnancy. Did you tell Nichelle the truth? I told her that Keith was wrong, and I felt guilty lying to her the way I did. What proof do the opinions have that indicates Sean ended his own life? Do you even believe them? They showed me a note, but it could have been written by anyone. Just when we thought Fibune was beginning to doubt Wade, she goes on and accepts more of his lies. Why would Sean take his own life, but not share where his body can be located? There are two possibilities here. Either Fibune is willing to protect her oldest son for his crime, or Wade was prepared for a plan B once he realized his mother was becoming suspicious. If you're referring to losing the people that we love, then you're sadly mistaken, Harley. Isabel is very much alive, but her daughter isn't. And there's no way she'd ever take you back since you had a part in it. I need you to understand something. Isabel and I love one another. The two of us have a connection that you'll never understand. You're right, Isidore. I'll never understand it because it's clear that you're no longer living in reality. I'm not sleeping around with Owen. That's not how I heard it at the courthouse. Look, Shelly, I know that I'm asking you to place yourself in a difficult position. I wouldn't be in this position in the first place if you had only told your husband that you've been unfaithful. Don't you understand that my family could crumble if I do that? How come you didn't think about that when you began sleeping with another man, Wanda? It sounds like Nichelle asked you that outright, Zeke. You sure she would have broken up with you if you told the truth then and there? I couldn't take that risk, Dee. Like I said, I hated lying to her, but I couldn't see Nichelle get hurt again. Ever since I found out I got Yvette pregnant, I wanted to tell her the truth. Do you think that I made the right call? If you're trying to ask me about morals, then you need to speak with my cousins. What I'm an expert at is growing up with a father who ain't there. All I can tell you is that you can either live happily ever after with Nichelle or be there for your son from the jump. I'm sick of this. Every time we take one step towards taking down the organization, it always seems like Wade is a step ahead of us. We can all agree that Sean is no longer living. The department will do its best to locate his body, Miss Franklin. Except the department might be wasting its time. Wade took Sean's life, Commissioner. He's not going to put Sean anywhere that anyone could find him. That makes me question something, though. Did Wade have help getting rid of Sean's body? Let me make something clear to you about the woman you claim to love so much. That woman's family is very important to her, Isidore. May I remind you that when you got her pregnant all those years ago, she chose her family with Devante over the baby you two made together and terminated that pregnancy. Except Isabel made it clear how that was her biggest mistake. And now that she lost the baby she gave birth to and raised, it's clear how she sees you as her biggest mistake. You're speaking to me as if I'm the one who ended Ulysses' life, which I didn't. Isabel will see that. Woohoo, over here. It's me, your ex-wife, the one who gave birth to your only son, remember? I know what it's like to be a mother, not you. What Isabel sees is that her youngest daughter is no longer alive, and that if you only had made different life choices, then her daughter would still be here. Clearly, you didn't come here to help this situation get any better. Get out. If you could only look past your hatred for me, then you'd see that I was only trying to warn you not to waste time looking foolish begging for Isabel's forgiveness. Newsflash, Isidore, you're never gonna get it. I wish you a happy, lonely life. Believe me when I say that I didn't plan on cheating on Udell. I believe what's true, Wanda. The truth is that you did cheat on your husband and that as a grown woman, you should have practiced self-control. You're right. I couldn't control myself around Owen. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I made my choices and you have to make yours, Shelly. Are you seriously going to see my marriage destroyed when I'm doing everything I can to fix it? Yvette is pregnant. I don't want her to go through any more heartache seeing her parents' marriage come to an end. I know you're not trying to mix your daughter's situation with your issues. That's not my intention whatsoever, Shelly. You say you believe what's true. Well, that's the truth. Can you please let me handle the issues in my own home? Fine. Because this is your mess to clean up, I'll stay silent. And don't take this as a threat, but as a caution. If you want to fix your marriage, Wanda, then you need to stay far away from Owen Grant. Abandoning my son ain't something that I'm proud of, Dee Dee. But if I'm there for him, then I could risk losing the show. That's your choice? You're gonna convince yourself that your unborn son will be fine without you? Yvette's positive that it's gonna turn out that way. Maybe she's right. I just hope she does one thing for me. What you hope she does, Zeke? To let our son know that I ain't stay away because I wanted to, but that I was trying to protect the people who I care about. I don't see how these two scenarios offer any help, Ben. If Wade asked his henchmen to get rid of Sean, then they'll stay loyal to their leader. If he got rid of Sean on his own, then the rest of the organization is completely oblivious. How do you want to move forward then? This all started because I wanted to see Danny Clark get justice. Since Sean is no longer here and Wade covered his tracks, there is nothing that we could find dirt on the opinions with at the moment. We can't make a move until they slip up. Yes, miracles do happen, Finnegan. Isadora lost Isabel forever. Now neither of us will be with the person we love most. I'm on my way. This can't be. I must be dreaming. To be honest, I've dreamt of this day for months, Harley. Now my dream has finally come true. I'm home.
Previously on In Times Like These.
This can't be. I must be dreaming. To be honest, I've dreamt of this day for months, Harley. Now my dream has finally come true. I'm home. What Isabel sees is that her youngest daughter is no longer alive, and that if you only had made different life choices, then her daughter would still be here. Clearly, you didn't come here to help this situation get any better. Get out. If you could only look past your hatred for me, then you'd see that I was only trying to warn you not to waste time looking foolish begging for Isabel's forgiveness. Newsflash, Isadora, you're never gonna get it. I wish you a happy, lonely life. Can you please let me handle the issues in my own home? Fine. Because this is your mess to clean up, I'll stay silent. And don't take this as a threat, but as a caution. If you want to fix your marriage, Wanda, then you need to stay far away from Owen Grant. Have you heard from Shelley Dorval? I have. What did she tell you about what she overheard the other day? After having a serious talk with Shelley, she agreed to stay silent about you and I. Falling in love with you was the biggest mistake of my life. All you've done is bring me pain, Isadora. You are just pure poison. Isabel, please. I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. Come in. You mentioned how you wanted to make sure that Isadora paid for breaking your mom's heart. How exactly are you gonna do that, Bacho? It's simple, Viv. Since I run Global News Press, I will expose Terry for taking Dante Russo's life and expose that Isadora blackmailed her for over 20 years. I didn't expect you to be this speechless. Believe me, Hartley, when I dreamt of this day, I envisioned you wrapping your arms around me and leaving my shirt drenched with your tears. You're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be alive. Luckily, I don't need to ask for permission to have breath in my lungs. This is real Harley. I'm here in the flesh. Shelley is a born-again Christian, Owen. She won't fall back on her word. I don't doubt Shelley's honesty at all, Wanda, but she's keeping a deep secret. Do you honestly trust her to keep her promise? Because of her faith, keeping this secret could weigh in on her conscience. I'm the guilty one here, not Shelley. The last thing I want is for you to feel guilty for being with me. How dare you show up here, Isidore? I know that I'm the last person you want to see right now. Then why are you standing right in front of me? You know why, Isabel. Just because you're furious with me doesn't mean that my love for you has gone away. Why would it, since I've been in love with you for years? There you go again, using that word as if it doesn't require honesty and genuine character. You claim to love me even though you know you're not welcome anywhere near me. I know that I should have given you space. No surprise there. It always seems like you do the opposite of what you know you're supposed to do. Isabel, what happened the other day? We need to talk it through, one-on-one, face-to-face. How are you gonna expose Terry and Isidore without solid evidence? My mother agreed to have a televised interview speaking about what Isidore confessed the other day. Ain't you worried that it will turn out to be a he said, she said outcome? Your mom could turn out to look like some bitter ex. Not at all, because you're gonna help me out, Viv. What you want me to do? You were there, as was I, which means that I need you to back up my mom's story. I'm so afraid to let you go. Don't be. This isn't a dream. It's not a hallucination. This is very real, and I'm not going anywhere. On the other hand, I wouldn't mind you holding on to me like this. The only time I was touched was for a medical professional to check up on me. Where were you? Miami. Instead of enjoying my long vacation, I was recovering in a medical facility all of this time. A very nice facility, might I add. It amazes me that Terry placed me somewhere I'd be treated so well. Unless she wanted me to remain in a vegetative state or for me to deal with the mess that Keith made. So you know what Keith did. I know that he's the reason why I'm in a coma. I know that he took Ulysses towards his life. How long have you been awake, Finnegan? Since Thanksgiving. Before you ask, I wanted to reach you, but I was making a long, tough recovery. It baffles me to know that you're alive. I have your ashes. As you can see, whatever ashes you have don't belong to me. Who handed these supposed ashes to you? Pacho Torres. You're not the one I made vows to, Owen. I didn't make a life with you. Standing in this apartment just builds up more guilt inside of me. Udell is the Dorval family lawyer. Shelley has a sense of loyalty to him, Wanda. Stop trying to make me anxious. I wouldn't dare do that to you. And I wouldn't want to see you anxious or scared because I love you. You've heard me tell you that time and time again, yet you've never said it back. Because I never will. I can wait. At least I feel your love for me whenever we share a bed together. Don't even try to deny it. We have nothing more to discuss. I heard enough at the courthouse. Nothing you say will change the fact that Ulysses is gone forever and that you could have prevented it. But don't you see, Isabel? I blackmailed Terry before Ulysses was even thought of. It's me, Isidore, the man you fell in love with. The same man you shared a night of passion with, getting pregnant with a child I know you would have adored. I understand how much you regretted terminating the pregnancy. I never want you to feel the pain of losing 2 children. You have some nerve throwing that in my face, Isidore. That's not what I'm trying to do. Since you brought it up, I must agree with you. Choosing Devante over my own baby is something I'll regret for as long as I live. But I'm also glad that I spared my unborn son or daughter of having you as a father. You don't mean that. I mean every word. Get out of my hotel, Isidore. You're kind of putting me in a tight position, Pacho. How? You're the head of Russo Jewelers. The Russos can't even stand you for taking over the company. Yeah, but this interview you're planning could still affect Russo Jewelers somehow. Don't worry. You weren't even born when Isidore began blackmailing Terry. On top of that, the Russos didn't fill you in on what they uncovered. Your hands are clean of any wrongdoing. Are you in? Why would Pacho Torres be in possession of my ashes? He told me that Terry sent them to him. When I woke up, no one at the facility was able to reach Terry. All she did was have the medical bill paid. I couldn't even reach her. So how would Pacho? According to Pacho, Terry informed him that you were no longer living, but from what you're saying, he lied. Pacho lied about everything. Maybe because he blamed me for the loss of his youngest sister? But why would Pacho want to hurt you? Seriously, are you really so bored without your man in your life that you ain't got nothing better to do than to get into everyone else's business? Don't you dare speak on my relationship with Finnegan. You know nothing about it, and you don't seem to know if your man is still alive. Maybe you should leave town and find out whether he's 6 feet under or not. I don't think it was Pacho's idea to hurt me, but Vivian Jones's idea. Keep your hands to yourself, Owen. All you felt in bed was a screwed up woman who didn't know how to control herself. I need to practice discipline, but you're always free to lose control whenever you're around me, and it needs to stop. I only came to ensure you that Shelly won't cripple your campaign. As for me, I'll do whatever it takes to make sure that she doesn't remain suspicious of me. If you don't leave my hotel, then I will have security throw you out. Alright, I'll go. You have some nerve, Isidore, showing up here knowing that you played a hand in my little sister's passing. Starting today, you're banned from Theodosius' palace. Permanently. Isabel, please. I don't know what you want from me, Isidore. Nichelle owns Theodosius' palace. I'm just a manager. My daughter has every right to ban you. Get your PR skills together, because Pacho will be using GNP to expose Terry for taking your grandfather's life, exposing you in the process. Best of all, my mom will be speaking against you. Isabel, I know how hurt you are, but I don't think you would go through with this. Sounds like you don't know me as well as you thought you did. Now get out. You stood by my side the entire time that I plotted to take over Russo Jewelers. I owe you, Pacho. Let me make something clear to you. Initially, I stood beside you for business reasons. Over time, I grew to care about you, Viv. And because I care about you, I don't want to force you into anything that you're uncomfortable with. Please. You couldn't force me to do anything even if you tried. What does Lorenzo Russo's illegitimate daughter have against you, Harley? How do you know about Vivian's connection to the Russos? I had staff fill me in on the current events of Valley Park, and I even know how this Isaac Pierce guy stole my job as police commissioner. Enough about me. Why would Vivian want to hurt you? It all started when she manipulated and made a fool out of Alan and the rest of the Russos in order to take over Russo Jewelers. We've had issues ever since. That schemer, she and Pacho played me. They worked together to make me believe that you were no longer alive. Joke's on them, because I am very much alive. And my wish came true. You came back to me when I honestly thought I lost you, Finnegan. Now that you're back, it's time to make Pacho and Vivian pay.
Previously on In Times Like These.
Nothing you say will change the fact that Ulissa is gone forever, and that you could have prevented it. Don't worry. You weren't even born when Isidore began blackmailing Terry. On top of that, the Russos didn't fill you in on what they uncovered. Your hands are clean of any wrongdoing. Are you in? It all started when she manipulated and made a fool out of Alan and the rest of the Russos in order to take over Russo Jewelers. We've had issues ever since. That schemer, she and Pacho played me. They worked together to make me believe that you were no longer alive. Joke's on them, because I am very much alive. And my wish came true. You came back to me when I honestly thought I lost you, Finnegan. Now that you're back, it's time to make Pacho and Vivian pay. It seems like news broke out about Sean's passing. Are you going to be alright, Quinlan? This isn't how I wanted Sean's passing to be announced. My hope was that Wade would be hauled off in cuffs. But I'll be fine, Ben. Thanks for checking in on me. I'll have to call you later. I love you. You and I need to make some things clear, Quinlan. Why are you here, Clarice? How dare you try to bring my family down when our families were supposed to reach a place of peace? Are you in my office to check up on the details of my upcoming event, Lorenzo? I'm here to ask you if you could convince Pacho not to go through with his plans. How can I help you, Harley? I'm actually here to help you, Pacho. Help me with what? Alan informed me that you and your mother found out that Isidore blackmailed Dr. Terry Murphy for years, instead of turning her into the police for taking the life of Isidore's grandfather. How long have you known about this? Not long, but I certainly didn't agree with my ex-husband's actions, which is why I'd like to help you make things right. What could you possibly have to talk with me about, Mrs. Rousseau? The passing of Sean Apina. Since you're a smart young woman, I'm sure you realize that his passing is very mysterious. What does it have to do with you showing up at my apartment? Because of how mysterious Sean's passing is, the police are still looking for his body. I want to ensure that you don't get involved. But if you do, then you better not drag my son into your mess. I'm not going after your family. What I'm doing is exposing what Isidore told me at the courthouse the other day. Word it however you want. It doesn't make me wrong, Isabel. You understand how going along with this will affect my entire family. Here you are trying to talk down to me, when your son should have done the right thing over 20 years ago. Do you honestly expect me to believe that you're seeking after justice? We both know this is all about revenge. Ask yourself this, Isabel. Did Isidore seek revenge when he found out that you got rid of his unborn child? You know how messed up this situation is, Lorenzo. Pacho has got every right to be upset. Upset over the topic of your father's passing. Because this involves my late father, I need you to understand that I'm furious with how Isidore handled everything. He should have turned Dr. Murphy into the police, but he didn't. Why are you trying to protect him, since he did something so unforgivable? You're right. Isidore's actions were unforgivable, but he's still my son. As his father, I still need to protect him. Just like I'd protect you, Vivian. How exactly do you intend to help me out, Arlie? You run Global News Press. Are you not going to make Terry's crimes public knowledge? That's exactly what I plan to do. And I'm sure that your mother will be speaking. I'd like to help her credibility and speak out as well. You know that Ben doesn't appreciate you or anyone else in your family speaking up for him. And I don't appreciate you making my firstborn son a target for a powerful crime family. Stop exaggerating. Ben was never a target of the Apinas. Besides, why does it seem like you're not concerned about taking down those traffickers? Listen up. I don't have to explain myself to you, and I never will. You have no idea how serious I have been to take down that family ever since I became district attorney. But I'm not here to speak to you as DA. I'm here as a mother. So as a mother, I want to make sure that you don't get my son involved with dangerous people. There is a huge difference between Isidore's selfish decisions and my decision to terminate. How is there a difference, Isabel? You got rid of Isidore's son intentionally. As for Isidore, you lost a daughter when he never intended for such damage to occur. Are you telling me that I deserve to have lost you, Lisa? Don't put words in my mouth. What I'm trying to make you understand is that even though I disagree with what Isidore has done, he never intended to hurt you and your family. Not like how you are trying to hurt mine. You know what it's like to have your youngest child, a daughter, lose her life in a brutal way. Place yourself in my shoes, Clarice. How would you have reacted if I knew that Devontae had been sleeping with Elvira behind my back, but kept silent for all of these years? How do you expect me to believe that when it's obvious that your goal is to protect the Russo name? Believe it or not, I'm trying to protect you as well, Vivian. How? You're the CEO of the company. Do you not think that Pacho's plan can negatively impact Russo Jewelers and your upcoming event? What went down between Isidore and Dr. Murphy happened before I was even born. Besides, any publicity for my event is good publicity in my eyes. Think about the future, Vivian. You are my daughter. The rest of the family is still very hostile against you and will not rest until you are no longer CEO. If you convince Pacho to change his mind, it will prove to the family that you will put the family first. You've been at odds with the Russos ever since Isidore divorced you. Are you sure that you want to start another battle with them? Because of Terry, Alan never got the chance to meet his great-grandparents. On top of that, my son needs to understand that what his father did was absolutely unacceptable. Besides, I need to pay you back. Pay me back? Of course, you were able to get me Finnegan's ashes from Terry. I'd like to repay you for that. As for Vivian, I'd like to apologize to her for trying to punish her for becoming the Russo Jeweler CEO. Maybe you two can come to my apartment and talk things out? I think I can make that happen. Let me speak with Vivian. Wonderful. Let me know when you do. An innocent 14-year-old girl got involved with that dangerous family, Mrs. Russo, and that girl paid with her life. Now that Sean Apina is gone, Danny Clark will most likely not get justice. We agree on one thing, Quinlan. Danny Clark should still be alive, but I trust our police department. As for you, I don't trust you and never will. Focus on reporting the news and don't risk my son's life when you can't keep yourself out of trouble. I'm here to focus on reality, not on what-if scenarios. Of course, you'd deflect a simple question. Let me answer it for you then. I know for sure that you'd react the same way if you were in my position. I understand that nothing will bring my daughter back, but I will make sure that those involved in her passing pay. Now get out. Do you not care that Pacho lost his youngest sister, Lorenzo? Elissa could still be alive if Isidore ensured that your parents got justice. I do care. You're aware that I know what it's like to lose a child in a violent way. I'd do anything to have Elvira back. Does that include trading me with her? Not at all. Because I wouldn't trade my children for anything, Vivian. I understand that I have no right to ask you for any favors since I was never there for you growing up. But I truly do believe that things will be better if there is no retaliation. Did Pacho agree to meet with you in the apartment? He's not opposed to it. In fact, he'll discuss it with Vivian, and I'm sure that he'll be convincing. I can't wait to see their faces when they realize that they committed libel, and that I'm not in the grave like they led the world to believe. It will be so satisfying to see Pacho and Vivian get what's coming to them.
Previously on In Times Like These.
And I wouldn't want to see you anxious or scared because I love you. You've heard me tell you that time and time again, yet you've never said it back. Because I never will. I can wait. At least I feel your love for me whenever we share a bed together. Don't even try to deny it. I can't wait to see their faces when they realize that they committed libel, and that I'm not in the grave like they led the world to believe. It will be so satisfying to see Pacho and Vivian get what's coming to them. I hated lying to her, but I couldn't see Nichelle get hurt again. Ever since I found out I got Yvette pregnant, I wanted to tell her the truth. Do you think that I made the right call? If you're trying to ask me about morals, then you need to speak with my cousins. What I'm an expert at is growing up with a father who ain't there. All I can tell you is that you can either live happily ever after with Nichelle or be there for your son from the jump. You made it, Zeke. Welcome to the annual Dorval Haitian Flag Day cookout. Thanks for the invite, Edie. No problem. Last year, my mom was too sick to make it to the celebration when my cousins bought the estate, so I had to keep her company. I'm glad that I get to have my first celebration at the estate with everyone I care about. Your little brother is such an adorable kid, Vanessa. I've got to say that he's the cutest one in the family. Feel free to let JJ know that. I'm really glad that my mom trusted me to spend this time with Thomas. Are you surprised? Anyone could see that you'd make such an amazing mom someday. Mwe Thomas avec Vanessa. Kikote Shelly. Nuge apil munyo la Julia papi. Peut-être la parler avec munyo. Are you sure that no one saw you? I'm positive. Why am I here, Shelly? Because I have a lot of questions that you need to answer, Owen. Pacho tells me that you owed me an apology. That's exactly what I told him, except for one thing. If you got us here on false pretenses, Harley, then we're walking out, because I won't let you waste our time by starting a huge argument. I didn't ask you both to come here to argue. My intention was for all of us to come with a compromise. As for an apology, I believe you both owe me one. What game are you trying to play? That's what I'd like to know. JJ, how come you ain't tell me you invited Yvette? Probably because this is my parents' house, and I didn't feel like I had to check in with you first. Besides, this estate is big enough for you to hang out with Zeke far away from us, Dee. Your cousin's got a point. Let's hit off. I'm really sorry, Yvette. I had no idea that Dee would invite Zeke. You didn't do anything wrong, JJ. It's not like I can live the rest of my life avoiding Zeke. As my boyfriend, you've got to say things like that to me. I'm saying it because I mean it, Vanessa. Don't you see how comfortable Thomas is with you? It's not just because you're his older sister. You're being too kind, Max. But I can say the same thing about you. Honestly, you'd make such an awesome dad. I noticed how great you were with kids at church when you volunteered at VBS last year. We weren't even dating yet. You never told me that you started checking me out then. Don't flatter yourself. But really, I wouldn't have decided to be with you if I didn't think that you'd be a great dad in the future. Thanks for choosing me, Vanessa. And I'll do my best to make sure you don't regret it. It just sucks that if we ever do get married and have kids someday, that we'll be raising kids knowing that one of my dreams were stolen from me. What else could you possibly want to know about Wanda and I? Let me make this clear. I don't want to know the details of your little affair. I need to know if this affair is why Pacho Torres dropped his endorsement for your campaign. Pacho has no idea that I've been sleeping with Wanda, but he did know that I was keeping a secret, all because Udell planted that in his mind. Are you telling me that Udell knows that Wanda has been cheating on him with you? Udell has no idea that Wanda and I ever slept together, but he did catch us kissing months before the affair ever began. Why do you two seem so surprised? It's not like you two were 100% certain that I was no longer living. Terry told me otherwise, Finnegan. Cut the crap, Pacho. We all know that you hadn't heard from Terry. I hadn't even heard from her, and she's been paying my medical bills this entire time. Why would she contact you and lie about my condition to the entire world? Probably because she wanted to play a sick joke on everyone. Stop digging yourselves into a deeper hole. Just admit it. Admit that you lied about Finnegan losing his life just so that you two could break me. I really am sorry that you had to run into Yvette like that. If I knew she was coming, don't sweat it, Dee. I ain't upset with you. Besides, I'm glad that Yvette's moving on after Keith Sunderson. But since she's here, I guess I shouldn't stay here too long. You ain't gotta leave early, Z. Not when I invited you to celebrate a culture that means so much to me. There's always next year, and I could stay longer next time. It ain't like I'm going away for college. I'm gonna get my HVAC license by the end of the school year, so I'm gonna be working for Jeremiah. That means we'll still be friends by then. Are you talking about Vivian taking over Russo Jewelers? I know that becoming CEO of Russo Jewelers wasn't promised to me since I knew that I'd be competing with Alan. But I grew up thinking that I would have the chance to prove to my family that I could lead the company before Vivian robbed me of that chance. But you could still work for the company after college and show how valuable you are to Russo Jewelers and your family, Max. Tell me, Vanessa, how am I supposed to work for someone who I resent? How did you make it out in one piece when Udell caught you kissing his wife? I gave Udell and Wanda time alone to talk things through. Clearly, the conversation didn't really help since you took things further by disrespecting him once again by sleeping with Wanda. Don't stand there and judge me, Shelly. After Udell caught me and Wanda kissing, he treated her like crap. She came to me for comfort since her husband was always looking at her with disgust. Keyword husband. Nothing you say will ever justify the fact that you defiled their marriage by pursuing a married woman. Not that I condone Udell for the way he treated Wanda afterwards, but can you blame him? Because you couldn't keep your trifling hands to yourself, he couldn't trust his own wife. We ain't admitted to nothing. Let's go, Pacho. If you two walk out, then I guess I'll have to reach out to the board of directors at Global News Press to inform them that their CEO committed libel. Maybe you should go and tell them then, Finnegan. It's not like you have any proof. The very fact that he's still alive is all the proof the board will need. GNP prides itself in always getting it right. I can only imagine that there will be some public embarrassment if they realize that you didn't ensure that Finnegan was no longer living. Clearly you two want something for your silence. What is it? The thing is that I'll have to be out in the world again, but I promise to make sure that you and Global News Press don't face public embarrassment, as long as you send me $7 million. Dee, can you let me speak with Zeke alone? If you're here to ask Zeke to leave, then you can forget about it. I'ma be alright, Dee. I got something to say to Yvette anyways. You behave yourself at my cousin's house. What's up, Yvette? I want to let you know that I don't want you to feel like you have to keep on dodging me every time we cross paths. Thanks for letting me know. And I wanted to let you know that I give you props for speaking out about what Keeve tried to do to you last summer. People needed to know how messed up he is. But I never thanked you for what you did that night. And I'm sorry. You literally saved me from a life of pain and trauma and never got any credit for it. Don't sweat it. I just knew something was up that night and couldn't let him get away with what he was trying to do. I get that what Vivian did was foul and underhanded, but she's still your family, Max. How can I forget? Not that I condone my grandfather for cheating on my grandmother all those years ago, and I don't hold on to any anger against him anymore. But Vivian could have let us know who she was without her schemes. I would have accepted her, Vanessa. Do you think you still can? You don't love her. You're infatuated by her. If you truly loved Wanda, then you wouldn't have convinced her to break her vows. That's easy for you to say. I just explained to you that Wanda and Udell don't have the perfect marriage that you and Jeremiah have. Stop right there. My marriage with Jeremiah is not perfect. It never has been perfect. It is by God's grace and the values that our families instilled in us, which is what helped my marriage with Jeremiah to survive. What's your end game in all of this, Owen? Bringing up Wanda and Udell's marriage so that you can have her to yourself? All I want is to see Wanda happy. Then stay away from her for good. I'd also like you to get out of my sight, and someone better not see you. $7 million? What could she possibly want with all that money? That's for me to worry about. What matters is that you're more than able to provide what I'm asking for. Consider it as a silent settlement. You've got some nerve, Finnegan. Blackmailing me after what your son did to my sister with your weapon. And you made the whole world believe that I was the second victim that my son claimed, when you weren't even 100% sure if that were true. As if you're innocent in all of this. You wouldn't be in this mess if you knew how to keep your weapon secure from your psycho son. And don't try to pretend like you're off the hook, Vivian. I'm sure that faking Finnegan's passing was all your idea. Not only will Pacho have to pay, but you will. I ain't giving you a cent. That's right. You won't be giving me anything. But you will be giving my son what's owed him. At your event, you will step down as CEO and hand the position off to Alan. You have lost your mind, Harley. Guess the crazy from Finnegan rubbed off on you. No, you would be crazy not to do as I ask. Because if you don't, Finnegan and I will expose both you and Pacho, bringing bad press to Russo Jewelers and your precious event. Since I'm asking you to make Alan CEO, I think it's best if you keep it to yourself that Essador blackmailed Terry for all of these years. And I thought that you wanted Essador to pay. And he will. Essador won't be CEO like he's always wanted. Instead, his son will be running the company. Vivian, the choice is yours. Maybe you don't feel like you have much to lose, but your boyfriend here can lose everything. Who do you love more, Pacho or your thirst for power?
Previously on In Times Like These.
At your event, you will step down as CEO and hand the position off to Alan. You have lost your mind, Harley. Guess the crazy from Finnegan rubbed off on you. No, you would be crazy not to do as I ask. Because if you don't, Finnegan and I will expose both you and Pacho, bringing bad press to Russo Jurors and your precious event. Vivian, the choice is yours. Maybe you don't feel like you have much to lose, but your boyfriend here can lose everything. Who do you love more, Pacho or your thirst for power? I don't trust you and never will. Focus on reporting the news and don't risk my son's life when you can't keep yourself out of trouble. Look, Kimmy, hitting you was a mistake. Please don't think I don't love you. Can you try to remember how much I tried to care for you since you had your heart broken over losing Danny? Please, just give me another chance. Fine, Lyric. I'll give you another chance. You seem really happy today. That's because I have every reason to be happy, Harley. You are now looking at Valley Park's newest millionaire. Pacho signed over the $7 million. I wasn't sure if it would happen that fast. I had no doubt that Pacho would deliver. Now that you have the money, can you fill me in on what you'll be using it for? What's bothering you, Vivian? Mama, my event will be here by the end of the week. Can you please accept my invitation? I really need you there. Baby, what's going on? Hello, Fiboon. Sorry I hadn't reached out. I wanted to give you some time alone. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you, Ben. And thank you so much for helping me to uncover the truth about my son. Now that I know Sean's fate, it's clear that your services are no longer needed. What's up, Kimmy? I thought you wanted to go out. It was your idea to come to Shirley's Lyric, but being here ain't helping. You ain't even tell me why you're upset in the first place. I can't get over the fact that Sean and Pina ain't living no more. You need to get over it. Since my job as police commissioner was stolen from me, I realized that it was a perfect opportunity for me to become one of Valley Park's elites, especially since my family name has been tarnished after everything Kiev has done. When you reveal yourself to everyone, I will stand by your side no matter what backlash you might receive. I know, Harley, and I thank you. In fact, you have an important role to play in what I plan to do. Before I agree to anything, I need to understand what you're trying to get done. I'm happy to explain to you that I plan to establish my own tavern. I'll call you later, Mama. Bye. Sorry for interrupting your call. You're good, Pacho. I was just trying to make one last attempt to see if my mom would come to my event this week. Did she agree to come? She still seems pretty reluctant. But what did you need to say to me? Since you mentioned the event, I wanted to bring up the fact that you left Harley's apartment the other day without saying a word, Viv. I can't just let go of Russo Jewelers, Pacho. Not after I worked so hard to get it. Sean's body still hasn't been found, Fiboon. Don't you properly want to bury your son? You don't deserve to take on such a difficult task. Let the police do all the hard work. And to answer your question, I want to properly say goodbye to Sean. Are you just not ready to fully say goodbye? Since Wade and I will make a legal declaration that Sean is no longer living, we'll be setting up a memorial service for him. But I'd like to wait until my youngest son, Lucas, finishes the year at boarding school. Sean took Danny's life, Lyric. She was my best friend. You know how important she was to me. Exactly. Good riddance to that guy. But I wanted to see Sean go to prison. Is Danny here? There ain't no reason for the guy who took her life to still be alive, Kimmy. My issue is that he took the easy way out. That punk took his life somewhere that no one would find him. What you need to find his body for, Kimmy? You trying to throw tomatoes at the guy's grave? Don't be stupid. A tavern, you say? The best which Valley Park has ever seen. And now Pacho has generously gifted me with all of the money I need to make this tavern a success. Of course, I'll be keeping some to myself. You have every right to treat yourself after everything you've endured for all of these months. Does this mean that you'll help me? People won't be eager to come to this tavern if they know that I own it. But if you tell people that you bought property, then they might be more willing. Here's the thing, Viv. I already sent Finnegan the $7 million that he asked for. I really wish you ain't have to do that. So do I. But I had to make sure that Finnegan got the money so that it would give us some time. Because it doesn't seem like Harley is backing down when it comes to her wanting Alan to become the head of Russo Jewelers. If the event is successful, then it will only raise eyebrows, Pacho. Why would anyone believe that I'd willingly hand over my company to that screw-up? The last thing I want is to see you lose Russo Jewelers. But just because Finnegan got to $7 million doesn't mean that he and Harley won't expose us for lying about his demise. There's gotta be something we can do, Pacho. There's gotta be. How's your youngest son taking the news? Because of Sean's complicated personality, he and Lucas weren't extremely close. But Lucas still loved his older brother just like he loves Wade, who absolutely adores Lucas. Did Sean ever get jealous between the bond that Wade and Lucas have? Wade was already an adult when Lucas was born, and Sean had been the youngest for years. He only became the middle child as a teenager. Maybe Sean felt like an outsider. Why couldn't Sean just get over it? Maybe because he was reminded that Lucas was my miracle child. I had him later on in life, making my pregnancy extremely high risk. Since it seems like you care about my feelings, I'd appreciate it if you ensure that Quinlan gives my family space to grieve. I'm sorry for going off like that, Lyric. Maybe you're right. I guess I am being stupid for being worked up. At least you admitted it. Just enjoy your lunch and we can talk about our plans for the summer. That's right. The school year is almost over and it's gonna be my first summer without Danny. Can you please stop trying to turn our positive conversation into a depressing one? Just focus on the good times you and I are gonna have together. Kimmy? Zeke! It's so good to see you. Of course, I'll help you, Finnegan. Don't worry, your tavern will be an instant hit. People in this town need to understand that you are a victim too. And I intend to move forward in my life and make sure that I don't stay as a victim forever. Most of all, I'm ready to build this kingdom with you by my side. Harley will not compromise Viv. She wants her only son to take the throne of the Russo Empire. What am I supposed to do if I just sign over my company to Alan? You know that I'll take care of you. We'll speak with Harley, make sure she convinces Alan to keep you at the company. Most of all, you don't have to sign over all of your shares. Keep a portion and we can strategize how you can get Russo Jewelers back. You've done it before with no shares. You can do it again, Viv. Only cause none of the Russos knew who I was, Pacho. They'd rather see Russo Jewelers crumble under Alan's leadership than see me as CEO ever again. I'll make sure that Quinlan stays away. Excellent. Besides, you know what it's like to tragically lose someone in your own family, Ben. It's been very difficult knowing that I'll never see Sean again. The last thing I need is someone trying to interject themselves into my family at the moment. Who's this? Lyric, this is my godbrother Zeke. Zeke, this is my boyfriend Lyric. Boyfriend? Ain't you too young to be dating someone? We're 15. I like Kimmy and Kimmy likes me. Sorry I ain't get the chance to visit you when Quinn and your mom reconnected. My life's been pretty crazy. It's all good. Maybe we can find a time to catch up. My girlfriend Nichelle is on her way. You can hang out with us. I ain't too sure about that, Kimmy. We got a lot of plans this summer, remember? Actually, I'm ready to head out. I'ma ask my mom to get Quinn to give me your number, Zeke. We can catch up over the phone. See you later. Yeah, see you.
Previously, on In Times Like These.
I already sent Finnegan the $7 million that he asked for. I really wish you ain't have to do that. So do I. But I had to make sure that Finnegan got the money so that it would give us some time. Because it doesn't seem like Harley is backing down when it comes to her wanting Alan to become the head of Russo Jewelers. If the event is successful, then it will only raise eyebrows, Pacho. Why would anyone believe that I'd willingly hand over my company to that screw-up? But I never thanked you for what you did that night. And I'm sorry. You literally saved me from a life of pain and trauma and never got any credit for it. Don't sweat it. I just knew something was up that night and couldn't let him get away with what he was trying to do. If you truly loved Wanda, then you wouldn't have convinced her to break her vows. All I want is to see Wanda happy. Then stay away from her for good. I'd also like you to get out of my sight, and someone better not see you. Are you telling me that Udell knows that Wanda has been cheating on him with you? Udell has no idea that Wanda and I ever slept together, but he did catch us kissing months before the affair ever began. How's our son doing, Shelly? He's been pretty calm. I just keep thinking about how JJ was just so talkative and loud when he was a newborn. I not only want to check up on Thomas, but I like to check up on you too. Lately it seems like something's been bothering you. And I wouldn't want to see you anxious or scared because I love you. You've heard me tell you that time and time again, yet you've never said it back. Because I never will. I can wait. At least I feel your love for me whenever we share a bed together. Don't even try to deny it. What are you thinking about? I'm just thinking about how I'm the luckiest woman alive, knowing that we have the family that we've got. Mom, Dad? Is everything all right, Yvette? Nothing's wrong, but I need to have a serious conversation with you too. Did you call this morning to share any updates about your expose of Terry? I do, but you two aren't gonna be happy with what I have to say. What's going on, Pacho? I'm dropping the expose completely. Vivian, I'm glad you can join us. Are you here to officially let me know that you'll be stepping down as the Russo Jewelers CEO at your event? It's nothing, Jeremiah. Are you sure? Because something about you seems a bit different. I understand that it's been years since I last gave birth. Are you telling me that you didn't notice anything different about me then? What I'm saying is that you seem distant, and I'd like to know why. Are you finally ready to discuss what happened the night that Keithberg tried, when he first tried to attack you? I said everything I needed to say in court, Dad. And like I told you both, I don't want to go into counseling. I'm ready to leave Keith in the past and focus on being a mom. So what did you need to speak with us about? My inheritance. What about it? I'd like to gain access to it. You can't be serious, Pacho. I put a lot of thought into this, Nichelle. What made you change your mind? Once you heard about what Terry and Isidore did, you were bent on making sure that they were punished. Here's the thing, Ma. When I expose Terry for taking Dante Russo's life, it's not like she'll immediately be arrested. Maybe not, but there's obviously going to be some investigation that will lead to her getting arrested. And do you think Isidore will be arrested as well? We've already discussed this. His reputation will be tarnished for the rest of his life. Just calm down, you two. Pacho, are you holding back because you're worried about how this will affect Vivian? Before I agree to anything, Harley, I'd like to make a request. You are in no position to be making any deals. Wait a minute, Harley. Just hear Vivian out. This better be good. I get that you want me to step down as CEO and hand over my position to Alan, but what I ask in return is that I'm not required to give up all of my shares. I'd also like for you to assure me that you'll convince your son to keep me at Russo Jewelers. Don't you think that it's possible that I'm feeling distant since I'm really busy with this little one right here? That's not it, Shelly. I'm thinking back to Haitian Flag Day. It was like you disappeared for a moment and no one knew where you were. Jeremiah, I just had a baby, a surprise baby at my age. Is it a crime for me to have a moment to myself? I'm not saying that. Here's what I'm trying to get at. Do you think that you might be dealing with postpartum depression? You're not supposed to have access to that money until you turn 21. I know, but neither of you expected for me to get pregnant before then. Is that what this is about? Yvette, if you're worried that your son won't have an inheritance, then you don't need to worry about that at all. We're gonna put money aside for him. That's the thing, Dad. I want to be the one to provide my son with an inheritance of his own with money that's supposed to be mine. Make it clear for us, Yvette. How exactly do you plan to use your inheritance to help the baby? After doing some thinking, I finally realized what I want to do with my life. I'm not gifted at design like you are, Mom, and I definitely have no desire to go into law school, but I sure know how to make myself look and feel good, which is why I want to try and invest my inheritance into starting up my own lip gloss line. This has nothing to do with Vivian. Are you sure? Because she is the child Lorenzo had because he cheated. Maybe she wants to make sure that her family doesn't see her as the outsider all of her life. Knock it off, Nichelle. That's not right at all. Besides, she was there when Isidore confessed to everything. She doesn't condone how her brother's actions affected our family. Then why have you changed your mind, Pacho? Why do you suddenly want to let Isidore get off the hook? Believe me, Isidore won't be getting off the hook at all. How does that sound to you, Arlie? Do you think Vivian is presenting you with a good deal? Here's the thing, Vivian. If you keep a portion of the shares and remain as a Russo Jewelers employee, then how am I supposed to trust that she won't scheme against Alan just like you did before? Cause he'd be the majority shareholder and the Russos will do whatever it takes to keep me from becoming CEO again. Besides, since Russo Jewelers is doing good numbers at the moment, then I think you want me to stay close to see your precious boy succeed in life. I don't doubt Alan's ability to lead. Finnegan, you better help your girl out. From what I understand, you and Alan know your ex-wife pretty well. Clearly the boy's judgment ain't the best and he's supposed to run a multi-billion-dollar company. Alan's personal mistakes doesn't equate to his capability of running a successful business. Look, I kept him at the company when I could have fired every single Russo and built up my own team, a team I could trust completely. All I ask is for fairness. That's it. It's not postpartum depression, Jeremiah. JJ suffers from mental illness. I wouldn't keep something like that to myself after everything we've endured. Not when we've got Thomas to take care of. All right, I believe you. Sorry for making assumptions, but I won't apologize for being worried. Well, I'm not the one you should be worried about. What's that supposed to mean? This conversation is over. Your father and I can attest that a lot goes into managing a business other than money, Yvette. How do you expect to juggle a business like that when you're still in high school and have a baby on the way? Kylie Jenner did just fine with her cosmetics company. She launched that when she was 18 and wasn't a mother yet. She's a mother now, a young one at that, and she's still doing just fine. If she can do it, then I certainly can, especially when both of my parents successfully run businesses of their own. Please, I want to provide something for my son on my own. On top of that, if Keith had his way, then I wouldn't be here. Can you two at least think about it? How else will Isidore pay? It won't be because of me, but Isidore will get what's coming to him, and we can use it to our advantage when the time is right. All right, I'll agree to it. You can keep only a portion of your shares, and I'll make sure that Alan keeps you at the company. What I ask in return is that you keep your word by not sabotaging my son. If things don't go right for Alan, it will only be his own fault, but I'll make sure to hold my nephew's hand. Good. I'm really looking forward to your event, Vivian. It should be memorable.
Previously on In Times Like These.
Alan's personal mistakes doesn't equate to his capability of running a successful business. Look, I kept him at the company when I could have fired every single Russo and built up my own team, a team I could trust completely. All I ask is for fairness. That's it. Please, I want to provide something for my son on my own. On top of that, if Keith had his way, then I wouldn't be here. Can you two at least think about it? My girlfriend Nichelle is on her way. You can hang out with us. I ain't too sure about that, Kimmy. We got a lot of plans this summer, remember? Actually, I'm ready to head out. I'ma ask my mom to get Quinn to give me your number, Zeke. We can catch up over the phone. See you later. Besides, you know what it's like to tragically lose someone in your own family, Ben. It's been very difficult knowing that I'll never see Sean again. The last thing I need is someone trying to interject themselves into my family at the moment. This is definitely a huge step up from your last place. Thank you for helping me to place the finishing touches here, Ben. Are you sure that you're okay with missing out on the Russo Jewelers event at Theodosius' palace? I wanted to make sure that you were alright, Quinlan. Besides, I'm sure that Vivian can handle the event without my presence. She did send you an invite though. Your newfound aunt is still very bent on rebuilding her relationship with you. Once Max comes to terms with her being CEO, then maybe I can find a way to bond with her again. Enough about me. How does Zeke like this place? He's getting used to it. I'm still in shock though. It feels so surreal that I've reached this point in my career as a TV reporter. Not to dampen your mood, but I hope you realize how much your life is changing now. Most of all, I hope you realize that you need to learn that you need to keep yourself safer. It's Memorial Day, Lyric. We ain't got school. How come we can't just hang out at Shirley's diner? Cause I ain't feeling it right now, Kimmy. Your mom's working at the salon and we got the place to ourselves. We can binge watch a show or watch a movie. Be straight with me, Lyric. Do you want to avoid going to the diner cause of what went down when we ran into Zeke the other day? Thanks for agreeing to pay for me, JJ. Don't mention it. I wanted to treat you since we had that awkward meeting with Zeke at my family's estate during Haitian Flag Day. Again, JJ, it's all good. Besides, I'll be able to treat you in the next several months. What do you mean? You are now looking at a future entrepreneur. Are you ready, Harley? Are you ready to blow this whole event up and reveal all of Vivian's sins for the entire world to see? I'm ready to blow this event up, but the three of us won't be doing a single thing. You're confusing me, Mom. What I'm saying is that we won't be crashing this event at all, Alan. What are you playing at? We've already made an agreement. You can't back down now. I'm not backing down, Clarice. The thing is that I've already ensured that Vivian will no longer be CEO once the event is over. You two just need to trust me. Thanks for being here, Pacho. I wouldn't leave you on your own like this, Viv. Not when you're being forced to step down as CEO on an event that you've planned for months. This was supposed to be a really amazing day. Instead, this might just be the worst day of my life and it's all my fault. I was so focused on hurting Harley that I thought it wouldn't even affect the two of us. What's worse is that my mama ain't even show up. I'm here, and you'll be just fine. I ain't ready to let go of Russo Jewelers. It feels like the world is crashing around me. Is everything okay here? What exactly are you trying to tell me, Ben? We're already aware that Boone doesn't believe that Wade played a hand in Sean's passing, which is why she dropped me as her private investigator. So I no longer have access into the Apenia's inner circle. Thanks for letting me know. But are you trying to tell me that the fact Boone dropped you as an investigator is what puts me in danger? Boone has accepted that she'll never see her son again. She expressed to me that she wants time to grieve rather than worrying that someone might be trying to take down her family's organization. I don't even know him like that, Kimmy. I'm just saying that I ain't in the mood to spend money to go out and eat while we got food right here. Why are you trying to make assumptions? It ain't that I'm trying to assume anything, Lyric. I was asking a genuine question. When you met Zeke, it was like you couldn't care any less, and it felt like you were trying to rush me out of the diner. What a surprise. Another assumption. I remember being respectful to your godbrother. You don't realize you're seeing things that ain't even real? An entrepreneur, you say? Yep, as you can see, you are looking at a sample of my new lip gloss line. Before I got pregnant, I wasn't thinking about what career I would have in the future. But since my son will be born in August, I realized that I needed to take the future seriously for his sake. But you already explained that your parents would help support the baby once he's born. Yeah, but I'm his mom, JJ. I want to be the one to provide for him. So I asked my parents if they could let me have access to my inheritance. Yvette, you're not even 18 yet. My dad just became a multi-millionaire 2 years ago, and he won't even let me touch the money that's in my inheritance until I turn 25. Your parents actually agreed to let you get a hold of all that money? Vivian, are you getting nervous? Don't you realize that you're interrupting a private moment here, Lorenzo? I can see that just fine, Pacho, but it seems like my daughter is upset. I wasn't going to just look the other way. In fact, I came back here to wish her luck. You had 20 years to wish her luck. I've got this. It's aight, Pacho. You ain't gotta come to my defense. Can I speak with Lorenzo alone? Are you sure? I'll be good. Alright. What's bothering you, Vivian? The world believes that Sean took his own life, Ben. Wade covered it up, and there's no way for me to take down the organization at this moment. Exactly. But I know that you take the first chance to take the opinions down the moment you realize there's an opportunity to do so. You know firsthand that they're willing to take down their own to protect their organization, Quinlan. I can't even begin to imagine what they would do to you if they see you as a threat. I'm getting tired of these warnings, Ben. It's clear that Phiboon used you to warn me. Even your own mother is getting on my nerves. My mother? What has she said to you this time? Before I moved out of my apartment, she stopped by to warn me against pulling you into any attempt to take down the Apina organization. But obviously, she doesn't need to worry since you have no interest in taking down these traffickers. Lyric, you literally told Zeke that I wouldn't be able to spend any time with him this summer since I'll be spending all my time with you. Was I lying? Are you trying to tell me that you don't want to spend the summer with me? That ain't what I'm saying at all. I care about you, Lyric. I want to spend a lot of time with you. But do you actually think it's best for me to be with you 24/7? Now, I'm trying to reconnect with my godbrother, but the moment I brought it up, you tried to shut it down. Explain something to me. Did your godbrother check up on you when Danny lost her life? Was he the one who tried to cheer you up, wipe your tears, and hold you when you were crying over your best friend? Nah, don't try to avoid the question. Who did all that for you when you were going through the worst time of your life? It was you. That's right. It was me. I was there for you. Not to fill up my time, but because I love you, Kimmy. But Zeke's older sister, Quinlan, tried to help me out. There you go, Kimmy. You ain't even grateful. After everything I've done for you, I can't even get a thank you. I tell you I love you, but you ain't gonna say it back? You're just gonna let me... My parents still want me to wait until I'm 21 to touch my inheritance. So how are you gonna start your business? I kept on talking with my parents, so we came up with an idea. My mom's gonna use Confidence Designs as my business's parent company. First, I'll market the lip gloss to girls around my age, and in the future, Resilience will turn into a full-on cosmetics line. Sounds like you've got it all figured out. Aren't you gonna congratulate me? Here's what I'm trying to figure out, Yvette. How do you plan to make time for school when you're starting up this business and you're about to have a baby? I get that teen moms usually balance work, school, and home life, but it's hard work. And starting up your own business? That's more than just a 9-to-5 or a part-time job. And I thought that as my friend, you would be happy for me and try to be encouraging. What could be wrong, Lorenzo? I've been planning this event for months. The world is about to be introduced to incredible new jewelry designs. I get that I didn't raise you, but I see a hint of sadness in your eyes, Vivian. Sounds like you're just seeing things. No, you've got the same pain in your eyes that Elvira had when she informed the family that she and Udell Mitchell were no longer together. Then, we didn't know the details as to why he broke up with her, but I knew that her heart was broken. Newsflash, I ain't Elvira. Most of all, I ain't a reincarnated version of her either. I know that, Vivian, and I don't want to waste any of your time. I just want to let you know how proud I am of you for taking Russo Jewelers to new heights. It's amazing to see you achieve your dreams when Elvira's dreams were stolen from her. I'm sure that this event will be unforgettable. If you look into the opinions again, I'm not going to let you do it alone. How am I supposed to believe that when it seems like you want me to let the opinions get away with hurting vulnerable people? All I'm asking you to do is to be careful, Quinlan. Here's the thing. I doubt that Wade will be able to hide from Fiboon that he ended Sean's life forever. Whether you investigate the organization or not, I have no doubt that the opinions will end up destroying themselves. You weren't supposed to do that again. You promised not to hit me ever again. I know Kimmy, I just snapped. It was an accident. You broke your promise lyric. I know I did. Kimmy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. It just, hurting you is the last thing I was trying to do. My anger got the best of me and I just want to make you happy. Anything I do is because I want to see you happy. Kimmy, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That's what she said last time and I meant it. Kimmy, please. Please don't walk out of my life. Not when my own parents don't even want me. I don't even know what I'd do if you left me. Please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's okay, Lyric. It's fine. I think you're able to do anything that you put your mind to, Yvette. Ever since I've known you, your appearance has been very important to you. Of course, you can run a cosmetics company and being a boss is in your blood. I'm just worried that you might burn out if you don't wait until you finish high school, which is why Confidence Designs will be the parent company to Resilience Cosmetics. My mom is getting everything together to launch it. She'd launch it before summer ends, but my parents and I agreed that my baby's birth takes priority. Sounds like you've got it all figured out. I bet you'll have a successful launch, Yvette. Why do you think I called it Resilience? I not only want other girls to feel good about themselves, but when they put on my lip gloss, I want them to know that they can take on whatever the world throws at them. How did everyone like these new jewelry designs? I knew you all would like it. As you can see, the designers at Russo Jewelers are the most talented designers in the world. I appreciate everyone for coming to this event that took months in the making. 2025 has honestly been the best year of my life. Running Russo Jewelers was a dream come true. And Russo Jewelers will always mean the world to me. And I can't wait to work at the company for many more years to come. But there is some news that I need to share with you all. Starting today, I will be stepping down as CEO. Again, I will continue to work at the company, but will no longer be running it. After much consideration, I have decided that the best person for the job is none other than my nephew, Alan Russo. What have you done?
Previously on In Times Like These.
And Russo Jewelers will always mean the world to me. And I can't wait to work at the company for many more years to come. But there is some news that I need to share with you all. Starting today, I will be stepping down as CEO. After much consideration, I have decided that the best person for the job is none other than my nephew, Alan Russo. What have you done? Well, I'm not the one you should be worried about. What's that supposed to mean? This conversation is over. What's wrong with you and Shelly, Jeremiah? I don't understand what you mean, Papi. Mweli pa paleafiku. Not how she used to. Shelly's saying that it's because she's busy with the baby. But I don't think that's everything. You should ask her then. I tried, Papi. She won't give me an answer. Slow down, Max. What happened at Theodosius' palace? Vivian just announced that she's stepping down as CEO. What? How come? She didn't say. That's not even the worst part. I didn't think that this would be considered bad news in your eyes. What else went down? Vivian is handing over Russo Jewelers to Alan. Our cousin is gonna be the new CEO, Ben. I'll call you later. Right now, I need time to process all of this. What just happened, Ben? Max just told me that Vivian handed Russo Jewelers over to Alan, but I don't think she did it out of the kindness of her heart. Most of all, I don't think she did it willingly. Vivian, I'm so glad you're still here. Just cause I ain't CEO no more, don't mean that I'm gonna give up on living in a mansion rent-free. Unless you think I should leave, Lorenzo. That's the last thing I want. But why would you want to stay here, Vivian? You've already given up the company. Do the right thing and leave this family alone. That's enough out of you, Clarice. Now that most of us are here, I want answers. Who is behind this? Because I doubt Vivian had any desire to give up Russo Jewelers when she was doing so well running it since the year began. I saw the live stream of the Russo Jewelers event. Seeing Vivian publicly embarrass herself like that was very satisfying. You're not wrong. Most of all, I'm glad that I got to be there to see my son's dream come true. Now that Alan is the new Russo Jewelers CEO, we can prepare for phase 2. What do you mean Shelly wouldn't answer your question? I asked Shelly if she was going through postpartum depression. And what did she tell you? She told me that she wouldn't keep something like that to herself, especially when JJ struggles with schizophrenia. What's wrong, Max? I just came from the event that Vivian hosted. It's funny how the new jewelry designs weren't the highlight. What was? She stepped down as CEO. And that upsets you? What upsets me is that she handed it over to Alan. It was worse enough when she schemed her way to the top. Now it seems like Alan must be her favorite nephew, because it's clear that she didn't consider me for the position at all. Just like I told you, Lorenzo, I didn't play a hand in what transpired at Theodosius' palace. Does anyone here have anything to confess? Think this through, Dad. Alan, if we wanted Vivian to step down as CEO, then Alan wouldn't have been our next option. Sucks for you, CEO, because Vivian is the majority shareholder and whatever she says goes. Exactly, Alan, which means that you and your Nona must have got something on Vivian. I've got a lot against her, but she is not dumb. Not dumb enough to hand over the company to you. Thanks, Dad. I knew I could count on you to congratulate me. Y'all just need to chill out. Clarice and Alan ain't had nothing to do with me stepping down as CEO. So what did? I stepped down as CEO because of Pacho. I'm assuming that phase 2 revolves around opening up your tavern? The tavern revolves around my public reappearance, Harley. With phase 2, I'll need another favor from you. Another favor? Finnegan, I haven't even told anyone that I'm posing as the owner of this new tavern, which is fine, because you can make 2 announcements. What other announcements do you want me to make? I'd like for you to announce that you'll be endorsing Owen Grant as district attorney. Shelly, but I still feel like she's hiding something from me. Just like how you kept Udell Mitchell's secret from her. That's the thing, Poppy. It's Udell's secret, not mine. You're still keeping a secret from your wife. I made it clear to her that it wasn't my place to say anything. At least she knows that Udell has something to hide. Shelly won't even give me a hint as to what she's hiding. Is that your way of telling me that you find it hard to trust me? Why would Vivian step down as CEO and hand the company over to Alan? I'm just as confused as you are, Vanessa. Now that Alan's in charge, I feel like I'm less likely to work at Russo Jewelers. Come on, Max. You and Alan grew up together. Exactly. I know my cousin. and he won't risk losing the power that was just handed over to him. It's crazy how he got this position without even showing for it. Pacho, what does he have to do with any of this? You should know, Isidore. In fact, you should be thanking me to see that your only son is now in charge of the family company. That's something you think I should thank you for? Choosing Alan above everyone else? Not only that, but what about Max? He never even got a chance to prove that he's capable of running the company in the future. So your first option is Alan rather than Gianni, or handing back the company over to Lorenzo? I couldn't risk our customers losing faith in us by giving Lorenzo back the company. So why is Pacho the reason why Alan is in charge? Y'all know that Pacho was ready to publicly expose Dr. Terry Murphy for taking Dante's life back in the day. He was gonna reveal to the world that Isidore blackmailed her, which would hurt this family and hurt Russo Jewelers. I had to convince Pacho to back down. Did he give you an ultimatum? I gave him one. Pacho was so hurt that Isidore's actions cost Yulissa her life down the line. Since I was asking him to lose his chance at revenge, I told him that I'd give up my position. So I told Pacho that the best revenge he could get is ensuring that Isidore would never run Russo Jewelers. What do you plan to gain from Owen becoming the next district attorney? It's a form of protection, Harley. Once Valley Park realizes that I'm alive, Heidi won't make things easy for me. Neither will the family supporting her campaign. Are you telling me that you want Owen in your pocket? You can say that. I'm not too sure about this, Finnegan. Do you really think Owen would take the risk knowing that we'd be endorsing him? I'll let you two talk. You know that I trust you, Shelley. I trust you with my life. Always have and always will. Then believe me when I tell you that I'm fine. Here's the thing. I can't help but feel like you've been irritated with me for keeping Udell's secret. Like you said, it's not your secret to share. Why should I be upset with you because of that? To be fair, Max, Alan has been working at the company for a couple of years now. Whose side are you on? You know that I'm on your side. All I'm trying to do is get you to see things on a positive note. Here's what I'm positive about, Vanessa. I'm positive that Alan will see me as a threat and ensure that I have no place at Russo Jewelers. How am I supposed to graduate high school when I'm not even sure what to do with my life right now? Y'all literally just heard me say that I gave up Russo Jewelers to protect y'all from yourselves. I can't even get a thank you? Thank you, Vivian. Best Memorial Day ever. And don't worry, Heidi. Max will definitely have a spot in the company. I'm looking forward to bossing him around. I will make each and every one of you proud. Can't wait to do business with you guys. If you truly wanted to keep Isidore from becoming CEO, then you could have signed over the company to me. Instead, I'm stuck with making sure that Alan doesn't run this company into the ground. Vivian, I understand that I asked you to get Pacho to back off. I wish you didn't have to give up the company to do so. Protecting the family is the main priority, right? I bet you're grateful that a legitimate Russo is running the company again. To be politically correct, you'd be the one endorsing Owen's campaign, which means that you can get him to understand that I'm a victim, not a criminal like this town believes that I am. This might blow up in our faces, Finnegan. As long as everything goes as planned, then we won't face any repercussions. What do you say, Harley?
Previously, on In Times Like These.
You weren't supposed to do that again. You promised not to hit me ever again. Amy, please. Please don't walk out of my life. Not when my own parents don't even want me. I don't even know what I'd do if you left me. Please. I'm sorry. It's okay, Lyric. It's fine. Of course you can run a cosmetics company and being a boss is in your blood. I'm just worried that you might burn out if you don't wait until you finish high school. Vivian, I understand that I asked you to get Pacho to back off. I wish you didn't have to give up the company to do so. Protecting the family is the main priority, right? I bet you're grateful that a legitimate Russo is running the company again. Are you too happy now? I stepped down as the Russo Jewelers CEO. Just wish y'all would have heard it for yourselves if you had just come to my event. Vivian, if you plan to step down as CEO at the event this whole time, then why didn't you just say anything? Maybe I just wanted to surprise y'all. Alright, you're no longer the head of the company. What made you decide to hand the company back to the Russos? You know you're not supposed to be here, Isidore. Just because Nichelle is at school at the moment doesn't give you the right to just sneak into this hotel. I promise I won't be here long, Isabel. As you know, Vivian stepped down as CEO and signed Russo Jewelers over to Alan. According to her, Pacho is the reason why she's no longer the head of the company. Pacho claimed that Alan being in charge of the company was his way of making sure you paid for what you did. Even though I still believe that you should face public shame for blackmailing Terry, which opened the door to me losing my baby. Hey Zeke, glad I ran into you. What's going on, Yvette? I just wanted to let you know that I'm in the process of starting up my own lip gloss line. That's amazing. Yeah. And it's also another reason as to why you don't have to feel like you need to be a part of my son's life. Hey Kimmy, just want to make sure you're doing okay by yourself right now. Yeah, Mom, I'm fine. Okay, call me if you need anything. Hope you feel better. Lyric, what you doing here? Y'all don't think I came to my senses and did the right thing? I mean, this is what y'all prayed for. Let me stop you now, Vivian. Prayer is not to be taken lightly or mocked. But why do you need an explanation, Mama? You wanted me to give the company back to the Russos, and that's exactly what I did. But the thing is that you didn't initially listen to us, Vivian. We'd like to know whether you stepped down as CEO because you're in some sort of trouble. You said you wouldn't be here long, and I think it's time for you to go because you are trespassing. Alright, but I need to let you know that I'll do whatever it takes to earn your forgiveness. Yulissa can't come back to me, Isidore. She's gone, and I'll never forget that you played a hand in that. That's not something that could ever be forgiven. For years, the two of us have deeply cared about one another, Isabel. Time will prove to you that you and I can't live without each other. Just stop. All I want you to do is make sure that you don't try to scheme against your only son so that you can get Russo Jewelers. Because if I find out that Alan loses his position as CEO because of you, then you will face my wrath. Now leave before I call the police. What are you doing here, Isidore? You know that you've been banned. I never doubted that your baby would be in good hands, Yvette. But you've shown to me that deep down you still want to be involved in my baby's life. You want me to stay away though, and you know that's what I'm gonna do, since you think that's what's best. I know that you'll respect my decision, Zeke, but it doesn't mean that you agree with what I've decided. Why ain't you at school, Lyric? Ain't it obvious? I want to see how you're doing. Besides, the school year is almost over. It ain't like I'm missing much. But if you wanted to check up on me, then you could have just called or texted. You ain't even call me though. All you did was text me that you were sick. I needed to hear your voice, Kimmy. I needed to see for myself that you were good. But now that I'm looking at you, you don't look that sick at all. I ain't in trouble, Isaac. What sort of trouble do you think I would have gotten myself into? You're the only one who can answer that question, Vivian. Maybe I gave Russo Jewelers over to the Russos because I want them to trust me. Clarice has made it clear that no matter what you do, she'd never trust nor accept you into the family. Other than Clarice, have any of the other Russos accepted you after you stepped down? Lorenzo always welcomed me with open arms. Alan is definitely glad that I made him CEO. I'm sure that the rest of the family will get used to me soon. Weeks ago, you claimed that you weren't interested in bonding with your biological father. Just tell me what changed, Vivian. Isidore was just leaving. I'll prove to you that you can trust me again, Isabel. You want me to make sure that Alan remains a CEO? Fine. I won't take that position away from him. Besides, Russo Jewelers is meaningless to me without you in my life. I don't buy any of that, and I hope you don't either, Ma. For a long time, I found myself falling for Isidore's charm, but since his actions cost your youngest sister her life, his charm will never work on me again, Pacho. Here's what I gotta say, Yvette. No amount of money will erase the fact that this baby is gonna grow up without a father. My dad is the best man I know. My son will grow up knowing that. I get that your dad walked out of your life, but he left you without a father figure. My son won't go through what you went through, Zeke. You're right. The baby and I are gonna have different experiences. Like I said, I'll stay away since that's what you want. But I need you to promise me something. What is it? Promise me that you'll let the baby know that his father ain't just walk out of his life, 'cause his father ain't want him. Don't worry, Zeke. I'll never badmouth you to him. He'll understand that his father stayed away because it was best for him and everyone else. I take school seriously, Lyric. You already know that I'm trying to be a nurse in the future. You sure there ain't no other reason why you ain't at school today? I'm sick, Lyric. Why would I be at school if I won't even be able to concentrate? You sure you ain't trying to avoid me? After I hit you again the other day? I never thought you'd bring it up. It feels like I ain't got no other choice but to mention it, Kimmy. You sure you ain't trying to avoid me after I made another mistake? After I told you that I was sorry? Lorenzo's getting up there in age, Mama. Why waste more time when I can get to know my father now? That's the only reason why I'm still staying at the Russo estate. Are you sure that you're not just staying there to cook up a scheme against Alan? I'm the one who handed him the company, Isaac. Why give up the company if I was just gonna scheme to get it back? Ma, I really want you to know how sorry I am for changing up the plans. Vivian felt like she was stuck in the middle and I wanted to unburden her from it. It's fine, Pacho. What matters is that Esdor will never get the chance to run Russo Jewelers. Now we'll both never get the thing we want most. Did your prom suit come in already, Zeke? It did, and I can't wait to spend it with you. Can't believe prom and graduation are only a week away. And after that, it's the rest of our lives. The rest of our lives with each other, Nichelle. We'll have our careers, build up our future, and maybe even have kids someday. Kids? Where did that come from, Zeke? I mean, kids come along when two people love each other. Yeah, but having kids isn't something that comes to mind. Not in the near future, at least. Maybe someday, but definitely not anytime soon. I ain't trying to avoid you, Lyric. Then why did you just text me? How come you ain't call instead? I've been exhausted. Yet, you're standing up right now. You had enough strength to open the door. Don't lie to me, Kimmy. I ain't lying to you. I never lied to you. Get better soon.
Previously on In Times Like These.
We'd like to know whether you stepped down as CEO because you're in some sort of trouble. Promise me that you'll let the baby know that his father ain't just walk out of his life, 'cause his father ain't want him. Don't worry, Zeke. I'll never badmouth you to him. He'll understand that his father stayed away because it was best for him and everyone else. What do you plan to gain from Owen becoming the next district attorney? It's a form of protection, Harley. Once Valley Park realizes that I'm alive, Heidi won't make things easy for me. Neither will the family supporting her campaign. This might blow up in our faces, Finnegan. As long as everything goes as planned, then we won't face any repercussions. What do you say, Harley? Thank you for agreeing to meet with me, ADA Grant. Why exactly did you want to meet with me, Miss Drake? I'd like to help out your campaign. I can imagine that it's been struggling quite a bit ever since Pacho Torres dropped his endorsement. How exactly do you plan to help me? Isn't it obvious? I'd like to endorse you. How does it feel to finally be running Russo Jewelers? It feels like I'm able to take over the world, Dad. Since today is your first day as CEO, I'd like for you to have a great start to a successful future. Thanks, Dad, but I don't need, nor do I want your help. Hey, nephew. Came by to see how low I got after my downfall? Guess you're taking a day off now that Alan's running the company? That's right. You must be so glad to see that I lost Russo Jewelers the minute I had it. I truly want to know how you're holding up, Vivian. I'm so excited to see you walk across that stage and get your diploma next week, Zeke. Thought you'd never see the day, huh? I never doubted that you could do it. I'm so proud of you. You've got such a bright future and you should be proud of yourself now that you know that your life isn't a mess. It matters because the baby's yours, Zeke. Yvette's pregnant with your baby. I ain't too sure about that, Quinn. You want to endorse my campaign? Why? It's public knowledge that the Russos aren't big fans of mine, and I'm not a big fan of theirs either. Because of that, I could be your greatest ally. But your son is now running Russo Jewelers. So what? Alan isn't running against you, ADA Grant. It's Heidi who's trying to stay in office. Do you truly believe that it would benefit my campaign if I let you endorse me? Don't you think voters will see my campaign as some sort of revenge plot? Do you not understand how much work goes into running this company? The company which your beast Nono Dante started decades ago? Yes, Dad, I do understand. Besides, Vivian ran this company for months. I can definitely run things smoothly. When Vivian came to this company, I hired her as my intern because she had an amazing work ethic, better than yours. May I remind you that allowing Vivian into the company cost his family Russo Jewelers to begin with? You allowed her to deceive you, as if you were exempt of being conned by her, only because I trusted that you knew who you were bringing into this company. I've learned from my mistakes, and I won't make the mistake of letting you close enough to snatch this opportunity away from me. I ain't think that you cared, Ben. It's obvious how much you wanted Russo Jewelers. You lied to me in order to get it, and I'm sorry for lying to you. Like I told you when everything came out, it wasn't personal, only if Max could see it that way. Since you stepped down as CEO and handed the position over to Alan, my younger brother can't help but take it personal. What do you mean? You're gonna be entering a trade straight out of high school, Zeke, and you're with a girl who adores you. The sad thing is that I don't deserve the show. All that matters is that you've got a bright future ahead of you. Success isn't something you need to feel sorry about. Being successful ain't what worries me. What I'm worried about is that it's all gonna come crashing down, Quinn. You want what's best for Valley Park, correct? It's time for a new district attorney. Heidi being DA only gives the Russos more power and influence in this town. Pacho Torres dropped his endorsement for my campaign because he claimed that there was a lack of trust. How am I supposed to trust you, Miss Drake? For starters, I have nothing to gain from sabotaging your campaign. Plus, I want my son to have a smooth rest of the year as he's running Russo Jewelers. I don't want politics to get in the way of that. But the thing is that you're a defense attorney. How is this town supposed to trust that I'll ensure that justice will be served? I swear to you, Alan, I'm not trying to snatch Russo Jewelers away from you. For as long as I've been alive, I knew that it was your dream to take over this company after Nono. How am I supposed to believe that you're not jealous of me for running the company instead of you? Don't make me laugh. I'm not jealous of you. I would have felt a way if your Nono handed the company over to you instead of me. The fact is that you obtained this position through deception, as if you want to do the same. Bottom line, Vivian didn't hand you over the company because she sees potential in you. According to her, she handed it over to you just to spite me. Our family's wealth depends on this company, Dad. Vivian is still a shareholder. Why would she risk losing her newfound wealth if she didn't think I could do a good job? Please try and listen to me, Alan. I'm not your enemy, but I also won't sit down and watch this company self-destruct with you on top. What on earth is going on in here? Max shouldn't take my decision personal whatsoever, which causes me to question why you chose Alan over everyone else in the family. When I took over Russo Jewelers, I wanted to bring it into the future. Alan was the next best option. Here's the thing. When Max was growing up, he dreamed of working at the company to prove that he could bring it into the future as the head. He assumed that my grandfather would make that decision, but we all know how that turned out. What I don't know is the full story that you're hiding from me. I don't think that Max hired you to investigate me, nephew. You need to accept my answer and leave. Pacho, I need to speak with you at Theodosius' palace. Make sure your sister Nichelle joins us cause this is really important. I know firsthand that life hasn't been great for our family, Zeke. Enjoy this victory. So what am I supposed to do once I lose everything that matters to me? Why would that even be a consideration? Look at Mom. She's in prison. I ain't seen my dad for years. For all I know, he might be in prison himself. You're not like Mom, and you're definitely not like Virgil. But is there something that you think I should know? Exactly. As a defense attorney, I pretty much represent people who want to ensure that justice is always accomplished. With me by your side, it will make Valley Park trust that you'll be prosecuting true criminals rather than prosecuting innocent people just to make yourself look good. If you wanted me to win this election, then how come you didn't endorse me before? Honestly, I needed to face my fears. I was worried that the Russos would attack me for going against Heidi, but I'm ready to show them that I'm no longer afraid. Will you accept my endorsement ADA grant? Dad's just telling me how he thinks I'm gonna screw up as CEO. No. Did you come in here to tell me the same thing? I came in to check up on you, Alan. Well, I don't need that, nor do I need anyone hovering over me. I'm the head of this company. I know what I'm doing. Why can't this family just stop assuming that I'd fail before I'd even started? You know what? Both of you get out. I have work to get done. That son of yours is on a power trip, Isidore. If you don't do something quick, then he will self-destruct. Why did you need to speak with us, Viv? I've thought about this all day. I know that your family ain't get the true satisfaction of seeing Isidore and all of the Russos pay, but I came up with an idea to take them down. So why convince Pacho not to expose Isidore and Dr. Murphy in the first place? I couldn't have the Russos breathing down my neck all the time to show. There would have been no way I would have been able to run Russo Jewelry successfully, but I know exactly what will make Alan fail as CEO. All I'm trying to say is that I ain't trying to screw up my life when the people who are close to me are proud of me. Life won't always go the way we want it to, Zeke. No matter what happens, I've got your back. Thanks, Quinn. I want you to know that I got your back too. Looking good, girl. Don't lie, Jackie, I ain't got new clothes since 2023. What you talking about? We'll change all that soon, Bernice. Where's my hug at? I'm so glad that you're free. It feels good to be free, girl. Just in time to see my son graduate too. Guess you gonna convince Quinn and Zeke to welcome their mama back home?